Excuse me, ma'am. No porn at the bar.
Oh, it's okay. I'm transgender.
Oh, I had no idea. Do whatever you want all the time.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, chat. I hope you're ready for this pre-Christmas Eve stream, as we have a juicy one today. We're going back to Marina. Unfortunately, as annoying as it is for me, because I never really like talking about her. It's always the same thing. That's why I named this stream. What did I actually name it? Hold up. Which D words did I use for this one? Hold up. Degradation, deflection, and something else. Deception would be also a good one, because there is some deception going on there. But hold up. I actually need to get some music up. Set the atmosphere. It's festive. Presents have been delivered, even though it's not Christmas yet. But, you know, it's time to be festive. And there's a lot of things to be festive about. But I do believe there's more things to be concerned about rather than worthy celebrating. Because there's some things that I do not like about these new and old revelations about Marina. Beforehand, there was like very few things about Marina that were relevant. It was all a lot of deflection, a lot of blaming other people for other stuff. And mind you, this still continues to this day, but when people actually started to talk, about Marina and what she was doing throughout the years, then some kind of disturbing things have come out. There's some he said, she said, whatever. There's a lot of accounts about Marina going on, and I'm sure there's going to be more going on onwards. But again, let me get some music up, and then we can talk about this some more. As with all of these fucking streams, this one also has like sagas to it. It's gonna be too loud, probably. Hold up. My non-claimable Christmas music going on. I can't have it too loud though. Hold up. Alright. I think that kind of sets some ambience to today. And, you know, when we last left off with Marina, if any of you actually were here, but it doesn't really matter if you were here or not, the last thing we kind of covered on a stream regarding Marina was the new things regarding Taiga. A lot of deflection there. Pretty much the whole stream kind of developed into Marina versus Taiga, as Marina, not so subtly, was saying that, oh, she may have called Taiga a pedophile, or she may not have called him a pedophile. She didn't use the exact words for that, but she did insinuate it, and she did infer it outright to a bunch of her followers. And there's gonna be Taiga stuff in today's stream as well, but I split it up into several different things because there's a lot of things to go through. First of all, there's the banning saga, and that is when Marina decided to twist Twitch's rules just a little bit, not having the reading comprehension to actually understand that what Marina was doing, and that is showcasing her nude models and nude art of her VTuber model on stream, wasn't kosher with Twitch. And it was very obvious to a lot of people going forward, but Marina decided to be a lot smarter than everybody else, and promptly got banned for that. I did a video about it, and we're gonna go through some of it too, because there's a lot of stuff there as well, to give you a little bit of context of where we're actually going with this shit. Next one. We have the VT Rainbow saga. we cannot talk about Marina without talking about VT Rainbow and what that thing actually was. Why are we like jumping from present events to past events? Well, because it's relevant. It's relevant to relevant to determine what kind of person Marina is, because I can imagine that there are some people in the chat right now that do not know who Marina is. I imagine there are a lot of people who do know, but what happened in VT Rainbow and what other people were talking about that were directly involved in VT Rainbow or just were onlookers or had some dealings with Marina, it opens the eyes on a lot of concerning things when it comes to Marina. And there's accounts here from one particular VTuber that was like within Marina's inner circle, sort of speaking. Well, maybe not really, but this person was involved with VT Rainbow as a sort of forced administrator because Marina over there couldn't be arsed to do a lot of work. But we'll get to that too, because VT Rainbow kind of turned itself into like a promotional machine for Marina herself instead of doing what VT Rainbow was set out to do, and that is promote LGBTQ matters, create a safe space for a lot of marginalized people, as they like to call themselves, you know. But that's another thing. That's one of the sagas. Another one is the aftermath of the banning, like all the juicy stuff that happened after Marina was banned. Unfortunately, just for a day, unlike some other people who deserved lesser, who didn't actually break Twitch's rules at that point, but Twitch, being Twitch, not enforcing its rules is what Twitch does best, and several people that were actually respecting the rules, were following TOS, decided to well, do whatever art streamers do and stream on Twitch, or at least attempt to stream, and they promptly got banned for it. Some people got banned for 3 days, some people got banned for a week, some got banned for more, but Marina, well, Marina got banned for just 1 day. Like 1 day, 1 hour, something like that. So that's the things we're gonna go through. And that one is also gonna include a lot of people turning on Marina. Because you have to understand that the reaction was overwhelmingly negative to what Marina did. Because essentially it set back a lot of people. People that could have made good money, could have managed to get good numbers on Twitch if Twitch allowed that level of loot content to be featured on the platform. They would have benefited from that immensely. And I'm mainly talking about not safe for work artists, because that was supposed to be the thing that was allowed to be streamed on Twitch. But again, Marina, being smarter than everybody else, decided to contribute to ruining it for everybody. And yeah, that's that saga. Next one is what I like to call the miscellaneous saga, because there's a lot of things there. The miscellaneous saga will involve what happened after the aftermath, sort of the aftermath to the aftermath. It will include a lot of accounts from other VTubers regarding Marina, her past, what Marina was doing in her off time, and to give you like a bit of a spoiler to this, maybe like a what would you call that even? Like an appetizer. Yeah, that's the best term for that. The appetizer to that is there were alleged orgies, via chat orgies. There was improper behavior on specific servers. There's allegations of somewhat sexual misconduct towards some VTubers. There's there's a VTuber Discord, the VT Rainbow VTuber Discord that had minors in it and was almost never set to 18 plus. It had to, Marina had to be reminded to do that in order to actually that to go through. So there's a lot of shit in there. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of concerning shit. That's where some of the things that spook me are there. So that's the miscellaneous saga. And lastly, we're gonna take a look at comments that Marina made about her students, because Marina apparently allegedly was a math/science teacher, though I guess you couldn't consider math science, but whether, you know, it was like physics, chemistry, whatever kind of science it was, Marina was apparently a teacher of that in middle school, and she made some comments about her students, which are kind of weird. I have a hard time calling those comments damning or anything like that, because I would have to have like something more than that. But you guys can see them for yourselves later as we get to the part of that stream and decide on your own if this is concerning or not. But based on the other behavior, I would be at least worried. But yeah. So that's what we're doing today. I don't know how long it's gonna take. Might take quite a bit. There's a lot of things to talk about. So get strapped in, get yourself a drink, put a blanket on, close the windows, because it's probably cold outside wherever you are, unless you're from from the south somewhere, like Latin America or Australia. You have summertime or whatever right now. So whatever temperature you're gonna be experiencing, it might just get frigid anyway. But yeah, let me boot up the series of screenshots, starting on with the banning saga. So just give me a moment as I'll mute myself and get things ready. And it's gonna get kind of not safe for work slightly, but within YouTube's TOS, I can imagine. So just a little bit more context for those of you that don't know what was going on with Twitch in the last like a month or so, like 2 weeks, something like that. There was a new meta on Twitch for women, for Twitch thoughts, I would have to say. During which a lot of female streamers decided to kind of go topless, or pretend to go topless on streams, showing everything like above the nipple. So it kind of looked, as you were looking at their streams, it looked like as if they were naked. And that was apparently fine. And that is still apparently fine with Twitch to some degree. And, you know, to answer this new emerging Twitch meta, Twitch decided to make up new rules for that stuff. And that would allow flesh tubers, in real life streamers, to essentially do what you're seeing on the screen here, what Marina is attempting to do with her model. And it would also allow certain not safe for work artists to stream their creation process. So whenever an artist would be drawing nudity to a degree, sexual content, they would be allowed to do that, like within reason. But, you know, there was also a rule in there that said that if you have a virtual avatar, that if you're a VTuber, you have to follow the same rules as everybody else on the platform, and you pretty much cannot showcase yourself fully in the dude. You can be a degree of naked, because there's still these Twitch thoughts that go topless, and even right now the most recent meta is that you can go almost fully naked. You can just put sensor bars in front of your genitals, and some women are streaming like that. I know like a few of them got banned like for a day or so, which is pretty much equivalent to getting slapped on the wrist. But you know, it really doesn't matter. Twitch is gonna fucking Twitch. As someone that deals with porn, 2D porn, on a professional level, I have to say this. Not every single fucking online platform has to have porn on it. And considering what Twitch's user base is, and that is a lot of kids go there for video game content, I do not think this type of stuff, nudity, sexual content to this degree, actually belongs on the platform in any way. But you know, these streamers, they earn Twitch quite a lot of money, so Twitch will bend themselves over backwards in order for them to stay on there. And yeah, that's the situation in a nutshell. So yeah, Marina having not being able to read, not having the ability to read with comprehension, decided to go fully nude on a stream. On the left side of the screen, you can see like an artwork of Marina's model fully in the nude, and also Marina on the right with her model also in the nude, doing the same shit that Twitch streamers are doing. And this attracted a lot of attention. To Marina's stream. I think she got like, I don't remember what number it was exactly, but it was in the thousands, like pretty much the most attention Marina has ever gotten on any stream. And she gloated quite a bit about that. And we're gonna see all of that too. So let's move on. So here's Marina being very happy about that, retweeting all kinds of popular Twitter accounts, showcasing and commenting what she did on Twitch. Here's Jake Lucky's account, artistic nudity in quotation marks. Thank you, Twitch. Wow. Very sarcastic, but you know, Jake Lucky is gonna Jake Lucky. And here's an article from Dexerto, which Marina also retweeted, being happy with the newfound attention. The new Twitch guidelines has resulted in a spike of nude art on the platform. Emojis added by us. Yes, these were emojis here, all over Marina's screen, that served as censorship bars, censorship images. But there weren't enough, so I had to implement some mosaic in order to make it YouTube friendly. And here's Twitch announcing the new rules for that sexual content thing regarding the past new meta, because as I was explaining beforehand, there's already a new meta with fucking nudity. We've gotten feedback that our policies around sexual content are unclear, so we draw clear boundaries between what is and isn't permitted on Twitch. We also recognize that everyone wants to see a certain content, so we're updating our criteria for our homepage recommendations. And here's a few snippets, because there was also an article regarding these new rules, and that article had an FAQ which stated the following. Question: what is the changing with this new update? Fictionalized, drawn, animated, or sculpted, fully exposed female-presenting breasts and/or genitals or buttocks, regardless of gender. There's a thriving artist community on Twitch, and this policy was overly punitive and did not reflect the impact of the content. And following that, Twitch's TOS was also updated. Within the within the section that talked about sexual themes. And here's the thing that Marina didn't understand. It's highlighted over there. Avatars that translate streamers' real-life movement into digital characters are subject to adult nudity and attire policies and may be prohibited. So essentially what this says, VTubers have to abide by the same rules as FleshTubers do. So what Marina essentially did on stream was to break this rule. Got a 1 day, 1 hour ban, something like that. And showcased, which was essentially a camp show to thousands upon thousands of people. And you can kind of expect there were underage people in there too, because it's Twitch. And considering this was like a stream that was booted up into like the main page, you could expect there to be some kids like waffling about, and they probably saw it too. So congratulations, Marina. As expected of a middle school teacher, you really know how to deal with those fucking kids. And moving on. Here's a few comments regarding this new policy from, well, semi-popular users on Twitter. Here's Fujiman, which is the person responsible for the Fugis or Fujis that I am actually using right now. Like my jumping avatar on the right side, up and down, is a Fuji or Fugi. How long until a VTuber thinks that they are allowed to draw nude art? Clause means they're allowed to make their VTuber nude and gets banned. For your information, the link docs explicitly calls out VTubers needing to have their model follow their normal FleshTuber standards. I see people trying to find technical loopholes here, so I'll leave you with my final warning. All Twitch policy is enforced by humans. You are free to fuck around, but you will likely find out. And guess what happened? Marina did actually find out. Here's the streamer bans account, which showcases all the Twitch bans on the platform. And here's Marina getting banned. Twitch partner, Marina has been banned. And here's people commenting on it, because there were things happening on Marina's stream that were very suspicious too. And it also kind of sets the mood of how Marina behaves on her streams when she gets pushback from people. So if anyone is uncertain, this confirms it. Allowance of artistic nudity is for art streams where the nudity is being drawn, sculpted, or rigged. It does not allow for VTubers to be nude or for people to plaster their streams with nude art PNGs. And here's a person commenting on Marina's partner status as a streamer on Twitch. They had partner? I didn't realize until now. Why risk that? Take it back to Fansly or OnlyFans like, oh my god. I stopped by their stream and they seemed really convinced that the new TOS applied to what they were doing. I saw people saying they got banned from the chat for trying to explain this. This is literally against TOS. And the last part of this is something that many people have corroborated. Many people were trying to tell Marina in the chat that what you're doing is completely against TOS and you will get banned for this. And guess what happened to these people? They got promptly made fun of. I think some got made fun of by Marina herself and then some of the mods as well. And they promptly got removed and banned from the fucking chat. So yeah, congratulations on that as well. So that's the banning saga. It's pretty short. Let's move on to the next one, which is VT Rainbow. Like, you have to know about VT Rainbow because VT Rainbow is a whole can of worms that's worth opening. Let me get that up. So, what is VT Rainbow? Well, VT Rainbow was popular enough to get the attention of Dexerto, which decided to promote the group, which is, in hindsight right now, a pretty big fucking mistake, considering the group kind of imploded on itself. But this also kind of speaks for how Marina promotes herself, or at least attempts to promote herself regarding certain stuff she's involved in. As you will quickly find out, VT Rainbow was pretty much a platform that Marina used in order to get popular on their own. Like all of these very very wholesome promises about promoting LGBTQ plus people, creating safe spaces for marginalized individuals. All of that is just a smokescreen to help Marina monetize her career and to get further along when it comes to popularity. So here's a few snippets about VT Rainbow from the Dexerto article. How VT Rainbow is changing the landscape for LGBTQ plus VTubers on Twitch. This is an article from June 14th, 2022. Hold up. It's a bit too big. Elxox is a gender-fluid VTuber with over 47k followers on Twitch and taken 10k subs on YouTube. And these are some of the founders of the group. Elxox, if some of you don't know, is a VTuber that used to go under a different name called Kraken K or something like that. And Elxox is the very reason what Elxox did in the past, like what was it, December 2020, I think it was. She's the very reason I actually started doing what I'm doing right now, first on Twitter and now via these streams. Elxox was the person responsible for Kudo's harassment. She even tried to call like child protective services or anything like that on Kudo. There's a whole thing that's documented about this dumb cunt, because there's no other way to call this person. She was rallying all about lolicon stuff, and then when she switched to a different identity, which is Elxox from the Kraken K thing, guess what kind of content she decided to stream to her simps? Well, they had a Nekopara watch along, you know, the visual novel that has lolly fucking in it. So yeah, hypocritical and all that. That's a kind of topic for another stream, I think. We may go through the history of Elxox and as she was Kraken K in the past too. We may cover Kudo's harassment again, because I think a lot of people aren't familiar with that. But yeah, this is one of the founders of the group. So all around great individuals in that group. At least some of them are. At least those I know of. Facing judgment as an LGBTQ plus group. How terrible. And there's Marina. Marina, the self-proclaimed dom or armpit expert, has over 14.3k followers on Twitch. VTuber Rainbow's goals for LGBTQ plus empowerment. A new VTuber syndicate known as VT Rainbow launched on June 11th, and its six members are coming together to spread LGBTQ plus positivity on Twitch and beyond. Dexerto spoke with members Marina, Elxox, TMF Johnny, Artsy VRC, and Makari about what it's like to be an LGBTQ plus VTuber and how they plan to use their platforms. TMF Johnny has amassed over 1.1 million subscribers on YouTube and 112k followers on Twitch. The importance of an LGBTQ plus group. VTuber groups often consist of the same cisgendered members, like an all-boy/girl pop band. Breaking this norm and providing an example of a proud and successful LGBTQ plus VTuber group is only one of the many reasons V2 Rainbow feels necessary. Well, here's some spoilers for you, chat. The group wasn't popular. It managed to get some appearances on like Offkai and some other conventions, but in terms of actually being notable, The only thing this group actually managed to be notable about is fucking internal drama. And most of that is thanks to Marina, as you will learn very soon. Providing a safer space for creators and viewers. Streamers often attempt to create a safe environment for their audience, but the content and creator thereof dictates how safe the space can be. And providing a hub of safe spaces is one of VT Rainbow's main goals. Well, how fun that turned out. You will also soon learn about that particular part. VTubing itself naturally draws in members of the LGBTQ+ community because of the control over one's appearance and expression. Marina responded, "People experimenting with gender expression feel safer doing so with assistance of an avatar." Facing judgment as an LGBTQ+ group. Some would say creating a family of marginalized content creators would paint a larger target on VT Rainbow's back. And here's something I have to nitpick about that. Whenever a group, any group, especially made out of strangers, it's much worse if it's a company. Whenever a fucking group that just popped up decides to call itself a family, you know something may be up with it. There may be something dark behind the scenes. Something they may be attempting to hide. And never fall for we are a family and we get along together just fine. Like everything's peachy, everything's sunshine and rainbows, ironically. It's inevitable whether we are in a group or not. There are people who are going to target us, stated TMF Johnny. By working together, we can both help to protect each other and our community. Oh boy, that's gonna bite them in the ass. And here's VT Rainbow's official page. Here's what it states. A VTuber group focused on LGBTQ+ rights, safe space for everyone. About us, what is VT Rainbow? VT Rainbow is not a VTuber agency, but a collective of independent creators that support each other and come together to uplift the LGBTQ+ community. The group was founded by Marina in 2022. Has members from all over the world and has taken part in several conventions including MagFest, Offkai Expo and Fan Expo Canada. VT Rainbow hosts a weekly sex ed and relationship advice stream on Marina's Twitch channel. And boy oh boy, did something happen to VT Rainbow. VT Rainbow existed a whole, a year or so. And here's the last post they managed to make on their official Twitter account. The Twitter account, which is now protected, mind you, and I think this particular tweet was actually deleted. VT Rainbow VTuber Group. VT Rainbow has taken a passion project for us over the past year and a half. We have taken the time to experiment with the direction and priorities for the group. We have always had the intention of allowing us to be fluid and evolving team. Since May of 2022, we had the pleasure of working with many talented creators. We've seen the introduction of new members as well as the departure of some of our talent. Mind you, a lot of the founding members left. LSOX, I think, bailed a month or something like that. A month or 3 months after the group was formed. I don't know why LSOX bailed, but considering LSOX is a troublemaker on her own account, I can imagine could have been some friction there. I have no evidence about that, but considering what kind of personalities the people in the group had, especially with Marina and LSOX being together in the same thing, I can imagine some sparks flew here and there. But let's continue reading this. Each creator who has been a part of our journey has left an undeniable mark, and we celebrate their ongoing ventures as extensions of our collective mission. VT Rainbow continues to be committed to our core mission, empowering LGBTQ+ community and engaging with our audience through a wide variety of content spread across platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. They have 100 followers on YouTube, and the video that debuted them has I don't know. You guys can go and look it up. I think it has like 700 views or something like that. So yeah, they sure did a fucking whole lot to promote that togetherness, the LGBTQ plus experience. Like fuck, they did. You know, if you want to promote something, if you have like a lofty goal like this, at least make sure you know you have like a social media person that knows how to promote yourself. And you know, considering how popular and trendy identity politics pandering stuff can be, then failing at this is a tremendous setback for everybody, especially the people that were involved in the group. And let's continue. We are excited to reveal what's next and are fully committed to amplifying the conversations that matter to LGBT class community and the passions of our members. Thank you for continuing to support us and join us on our journey. Well, I don't think the journey is going to continue much because these posts are protected. The account has been protected since like November when this shit happened. Was this November? Yeah, this was like the beginning of November. So yeah, this account has been protected since November, and I don't know if there was any activity on it. Since then, I don't follow it, but I do know that this tweet is apparently deleted, so... And you may be wondering why. Well, because people decided to talk about this, because not everything was against sunshine and rainbows. Here's a person commenting on the shit that was happening within VT Rainbow. This is disappointing considering the lack of transparency on the shambolic state of the group. Half the roster mysteriously gone, Marina and most remaining members barely interacting with Discord. Then this? Is our identity just a status symbol to you? Please do better. And I do believe that that was just a status symbol in order to promote Marina's shit. And whoever thought of the line, we celebrate their ongoing ventures as extensions of our collective mission, needs to stop. Their content and strides are their own, especially with how poorly some of the members were reportedly treated. Again, do better. And here's a hero of the hour, a VTuber called Lennox that decided to talk about the internal goings on of VT Rainbow, and we're gonna watch a part of the stream in which Lennox states her opinion and states her experiences about Marina and what was going on within VT Rainbow. The whole stream is like over 5 hours long, so we of course not gonna be watching all of that. I'm just gonna be skipping to some more or less relevant parts of it, depending on which one is more which one is more important to the conversation at hand. But I will link you the full archive of the stream, so you may know I'm not talking out of my ass and I'm not putting words into this person's mouth. So you can learn all on your own about what was going on within VT Rainbow. And mind you, to like a regular person, like, which I consider my chat mostly. Most of you aren't fucking insane, I assume. To the regular person, a lot of the things that were going on within VT Rainbow would seem like a non-issues, like things that you can just kind of brush off and forget about, just go on with your day, not thinking about them too much. But considering the group, what kind of group this was supposed to be, it was supposed to be a group for LGBTQ plus people, people that were quote unquote marginalized, people that, you know, had been going through a lot of things in their lives, people that were neurodivergent, as they say, people that you know, had certain problems navigating social situations. So a lot of awkward people were in there, like a lot of people that were very susceptible to being manipulated and being used. And once you hear what Lennox has to say, you're gonna think that, you know, all of this was just a manipulation gig in order to help Marina get popular on the back of this whole group. But let's see what Lennox here had to say, or Lennox. Full transparency. Since I'm seeing a lot of misinfo, VTR isn't and was never a corp. 100% not fit to be seen as one either. For anyone who wishes to discuss anything private, by the way, my DMs are open. If I feel comfy talking. Thank you all for being so kind and patient with me. Time to heal. And here's more people commenting about it. Before we actually watch Linux's stream, here's more accounts, people that have dealt with Marina in some fashion or another after the whole VT Rainbow announcement on the 2nd of November. Mind you, Cyber Devil was a lot involved in a lot of the Hogwarts Legacy stuff, and that's a whole another thing with these people. But let's see what they had to say. When the group led by someone who stalked me, sent spies, and sexually and emotionally abused my friends are revealed to be a bunch of fucking grifters. I feel bad for the victims, but feel that spiteful pleasure knowing more people are seeing awful people for who they are. To be clear, this is about VT Rainbow. I ain't fucking staying quiet about this shit after what their members put myself and friends through. Learning that they were this fucking awful to their own members was the last fire I needed under my ass to just fucking name them. And here's them showcasing their experience with VT Rainbow. My experiences with VT Rainbow, and more specifically Marina. Let's read all of that. So my bad experiences with VT Rainbow are mostly with Marina. We initially got in a fight over her support and friendship with Nox, a known bigot. After they blocked, I kinda just left it till. My next known interaction was when I later learned about VT Rainbow funding. At the time, that group that appears overwhelmingly white can call themselves a truly diverse group. Because like the experience of the POC LGBTQIA+ member is always going to be different from white member, and both perspectives are needed. So, seeing it being written like that kinda devalues the whole argument that VT Rainbow was awful. Like, if you read that and said that maybe VT Rainbow was based because this person is having complaints about it, then you will be wrong, because this is the case of identity politics cultists, because they are cultists eating one another. So enjoy this act of cannibalism, which is much better than what the coffin of Andy and Layla presented. I was vague tweeting about this in the time because I wanted that lesson to be out there, and I learned that she had sapped with me about the fact that she wasn't white, and I was in fact a POC. And to which I'm sorry. Like, that is a genuine fuck up of mine. I have no intention of defending that. This is when I learned they were sending their friends, or spy as they call them, into my DMs as fake, concerned and worried people. Just wanted to stay safe, etc, etc. This was also when I learned Marina and her friends have entire Discord channels dedicated to bullying and making fun of people, particularly neurodivergent people. Whether that was intentional or just coincidental, I can't say for sure. Hold up. A former member of their friend group, who won't be named, sent me this before they cut ties. Taken from VTX Discord. You need a spy? Boom. I need a spy. I am the spy. But I've been taken as a joke. And remember, this is all like he said, she said nonsense. So all of this could be, just misconstrued. And I think Aki, Faye, and Lyra have come out to say later on that this wasn't in the context of actually spying on people. But it depends who you fucking believe. Do you believe this weirdo devil person? They may be right about certain things, they may be wrong about other things. It all depends on your own perspective and I guess sense of direction within this convoluted drama. Anyway, I was one of those targets, and despite being blocked, she would frequently be talking about either stuff I said or just mocking me with her friends. She's like stalking in high school bully shit. I've talked to her other victims in the past, and they have similar stories that are their own to tell. Her common tactic is frankly intimidation. Her past victims are pressured by her size as a creator into silence. Knowing how happily she'd use that, she could to ruin someone's time as a creator. There are other frankly more abusive and horrible stories that I have heard of since then from other victims, but those are not my stories to tell. If they decide to speak up, I will be sure to amplify their voices. But for now, that's all I have to say on this. Thank you for reading. To any other victims out there, I'll happily listen to you. My DMs are open and I happily connect you to other victims. And here's them talking about Nux, which is kind of irrelevant, but just kind of sets the mood and sets you the stage for what this person is. So you know whether to take them seriously or not is up to you. Again, they can be right about certain things, then they can be completely wrong about others. And here's someone commenting on what Devil said. Marina, VT has bullied and harassed former members of VT Rainbow. And here's Lennox confirming that Devil was never part of VT Rainbow. And that's the VT Rainbow thing in a nutshell, but Lennox has more things to say about that on her own in the stream. I will link you the stream, the full stream archive in the chat, and we will play part of it, as I will skip through it because it's again very, very long, over 5 hours of talking about this, and there was a lot to talk about. So let me get the music silenced and get you guys the link, and then we can watch parts of it. So give me a moment. Remember where I put it. I have a lot of tabs open. I sometimes do more research for this than I do for my fucking actual work, which is embarrassing. I should be paid for this, but again, a hobby is a hobby, so it is what it is. So hold up. Okay, I got the link. Here's hold up. Here's the link to the mega archive of the stream. Again, very long, 5 hours, 15 minutes, 45 seconds. Let's get these tweets out of the way and get Lennox up on the stream. When was this? If I remember correctly, this was sometime at the end of November or even in December. This was before the whole situation with Twitch happened. So let me skip around to some relevant parts.
Because it's important.
Hold up.
And
there's a lot of prefacing here. And to give you like the spark notes of this, Lennox essentially talks about her experiences within VT Rainbow, and that VT Rainbow was used as a platform for Marina to promote herself, and all things relating to like protecting, creating safe spaces for marginalized people, LGBTQ plus activism. All of that was either non-existent or it was like secondary or even like on the back burner. What was the priority within VT Rainbow was promotion of the group, and mainly promoting Marina and her then partner on particular events like conventions and stuff, with the final goal of actually monetizing the group in some fashion, like getting sponsors and shit like that. But again, it's best I leave Lennox to say all of that, and if you guys want to check me on what I'm saying, you can just watch the 5-hour stream on your own, because again, I'm not going to go through all of that. It's quite long.
Chat, which is the main reason why I don't have them only.
I need to recall where this
I do, but I did lay it all out, and I think I will have to go back and forth with Sky because my brain is foggy, but in the interview thing, because Sky helped me write up a whole interview, I did emphasize that my main goal for the group was to do my accessibility like I always have and promote an open space where people grow as people and it's accessible and everyone, you know, improves and communicates. That was my main goal in joining the group. And I think I made that very, very clear. And this is important because this is what the main problem was for me. Purely bring disabled perspective and advocating accessibility. Yep. And that is the main thing that there was a problem with for me personally in the group. And now I need to take a very short briefing break because my heart's going really fast. And we're literally just talking about what the group is. And I know I go off on tangents. Maybe I'm going off on too much of a tangent. I also do want to remind people, I'm not here to speculate. I don't want us to speculate or be too harsh either. This is just me talking about, my experiences. I do not want us to be like talking about like red flags or overemphasizing things or going off, because I don't want this to be like a drama stream and I don't want this to be a shit talking stream. I did say this at the start, but I don't condone harassment. I want zero harassment on my behalf. We're not going to anyone individually, we're not going to sponsors, and we're not going to go to anyone involved. This is us chilling. Also, I do appreciate it. Thank you. I will not be responding to any of that stuff today though, because this is a very serious stream, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. I should also have had that in the message on screen, but there's not enough room for it, so I'm sorry. Okay, I do breathe now. Yeah, the LGBTQ perspective is incomplete without the perspective of POC and disabled people. You're 100% correct. And that was, I think, I guess that was the box I ticked, which is something I have. I'm going to be going back and forth, but I personally felt like I was just ticking a box. Pinned message, it maybe would actually, let me just...
What she's talking about here right now is that Marina wasn't inviting people based on, you know, their experiences, their capabilities as streamers. It was just based on identity to, as Lennox is saying here, to tick boxes and to make sure that the diversity quota has been reached, even though ultimately it wasn't, because it was mostly white people, and to identity politics activists having that quote-unquote diversity, so meaning differently skinned people other than white is important, because apparently they have different perspectives on lives and their skin color decides a lot of that.
Type this up myself. Yeah, I'm gonna pin this. I was thinking about it, but I wasn't sure.
You do have to give her a lot of patience because she does have health issues and they are very obvious, as she has to take breaks in order to actually take breathers, otherwise her heart is just gonna give out on her. It's concerning, and considering VT Rainbow and Marina herself have given her a lot of grief, I can imagine that was kind of painful.
There we go. That should be working now, right, chat? Yeah. Clicky. Yeah, my keyboard's loud. I chose chat on the screen for a reason. Please don't keep spamming me. And maybe one or two of the Wave 2 members, but that's it. A group of peers. People that create in a space together. Yeah. Do much more analyze and tick a box. That is very kind. I appreciate it. I did do my best, and I will be talking about the stuff that I did do for the group, to the point where I was getting very sick and my partner had to keep telling me to kind of back off a little bit. But that is something that I can admit is partially on me. It is on me if I'm going to overwork myself for just because. And this is a reminder, this is going to be very casual. I do want to take these breaks to have a little bit of a laugh and a little bit of a giggle, because it's really important to me to have, I don't want this to be super serious. It is, but I want to have these breaks where we just talk for a bit, and then I'm going to my next kind of group.
Skipping a bit, so be ready for that.
Bit of a mess now. And I don't know how to go about, I wrote bullet points, so now I still don't know how to go about this. I guess from early on, there were a lot of red flags. And red flags are just red flags, right? They only mean so much, and it's really important to actually get to know people and not solely make a decision based on red flags, which is why I stayed for so long. People might go, Lan, why did you stay if it was so bad?
Red flags are a thing that you should actually take into account when you meet new people and you learn new things about them. Because as in nature, certain things that are toxic usually show it via colors, and when it comes to people, they show it via outward actions, because some people cannot help themselves.
Because I actually care about the human being. I care about the human being in a situation. I care about the person behind the actions, and I want to give that person as much patience and as much care and kindness as I possibly can do, until it's too much for me. And that's exactly what I did. And I say person, I do actually mean multiple. I hope that makes sense. So, I guess one of the first things I experienced that made me personally quite uncomfortable and a little bit sus of what I was getting into was the fact that I was repeatedly misgendered with very little, like, importance put on it. Now, none of this is in a specific order, by the way. I do remember I was misgendered a lot, and people make mistakes, which is totally okay.
See, as I was saying in the beginning, this would normally, like, to someone that's not into identity politics, this would be like a non-issue. This would be like a whatever, who cares? But VT Rainbow promoted itself as this inclusive safe space for people like that. So misgendering someone within a group like that would be a pretty big offense, especially since, as she is explaining, nobody seemed to give a fuck.
And that is fine. I don't actually mind when people misgender me. You guys know I'm actually in any pronouns, but I prefer they, it, and I use they, it on all my socials, because I know that if I don't, I'll get she, heard. I'm very well aware of that. I actually don't mind she, her here and there, but when it comes to my stream, when it comes to my presence online,
Personally, I wouldn't ever want myself to be referred to as an it, because that feels dehumanizing. I wouldn't want to be sharing a pronoun with objects and animals, so no thank you.
Prefer they, them, or it. I'm a big fan of the it pronoun. And again, VT Rainbow's not an org, it is just a group, but I'll be getting into that a little bit more later, because there's some issues with that. But, yeah, so the misgendering itself, I'm like, okay, and I ignored it for quite a while. I think it had been like 4 or 5 meetings. I might need to get fact-checked by other people who were there, or by my partner who heard me talk about it a lot. It was so much to the point where I actually did make a message in chat, not in chat, like in the group Discord, and I said, hey, just a reminder, my pronouns are not she, her, they are they, it. And I kind of explained briefly how it's stressful when we're an LGBTQ group and potentially doing collabs, although not a lot of those happened, out in the public eye, and I'm getting misgendered. I think that's really awkward. I definitely, it was a lot, and I also brought it up a fair amount. And so it got to the point where everyone was like, yeah, sure. Now, it's worth noting that the founder of the group had nothing to say on this, and
which is Marina, because Marina will rarely be referenced to in name during this stream. So whenever Lennox says founder, it means Marina and Marina exclusively, unless she mentions somebody else.
I often didn't have much to say on this. I kind of would expect the leader of a group that is LGBTQ focused to take a stand and go, yes, this should not be happening. I didn't perceive that really being a focus when it was brought up. I kind of... there was nothing said, and it continued to happen. And so in a meeting, I pushed myself and I said, hey, I just want to remind you guys, my pronouns are they, it. Please don't use she, her for me. I appreciate people learning and trying their best, but I didn't expect this from like an LGBTQ group. I'm surprised. And I immediately had someone kind of interrupt me to argue that they, them pronouns were not grammatically correct and that they struggled with them. Which I found to be a little bit weird when it's an LGBTQ group.
Oh no, Marina, did you have someone based on board? Have you been infiltrated by based people? Based people in your LGBTQ plus group? That's inconceivable.
But I am open to being patient and helping someone learn, but I definitely didn't expect it. So I was a little bit shocked. And I was interrupted to have that said to me, and I just kind of like went into fawn response and I was like, that's okay. But those are not my pronouns. And this, again, nothing said from like the founder of the group. It's their group. Nothing was said by them. And then I think eventually there was something said and she was just kind of like, yeah, we absolutely do not want that happening. And that was all that was said. I was then misgendered by the same person and multiple people in a collab that happened not long after. And at that point I gave up. I'm like, okay, that's just going to keep happening. Whatever. Really big red flag, but I'll ignore it. I'm used to ignoring it. So that was unfortunate, but that was a red flag, and I definitely found it to be quite strange when this is an LGBTQ group. And that is a personal thing for me, and it was not enough for me to like leave or anything like that, but I think that is a glaringly massive issue when this is meant to be a group.
I can put myself, like, based on my experience with a lot of people and, you know, just putting myself in their shoes, if I was that kind of identity politics follower, if I was following their beliefs to a T, that misgendering is actually a big deal, and it's worth mentioning like every single time it happens, and it becomes a huge issue to the point where someone needs to get called out for it. I would also be very surprised that the LGBTQ plus focused group that's supposed to spread all of this positivity, once again, safe space for everybody, just doesn't give a fuck about these damn fucking pronouns. It would be very strange, for sure.
That is advocating for LGBTQ folks. And I know very well that if we had been misgendering the founder of the group, it would have been handled with the utmost importance. Something I witnessed a lot was that, for example, like my pings were not respected. This can also be corroborated. I was pinging and doing a lot of work in the group. I set up the Discord almost single-handedly. I had a little bit of help here and there. I did a lot of work. I set up the whole Discord by myself, and I didn't get a thank you until I actually tweeted kind of vaguely about how I was really stressed and anxious, and I've been doing a lot of work and working myself to the bone, and it's really hard. And then I got...
For free, mind you. This is all for free.
Got like
no one got paid here.
Little bit of a... There was no thank you for doing it. I set up the whole Discord alone. I set up I did a lot of the internal work for the Discord. I made a checklist. I was actually manually taking people aside and setting up their meet and greets for them. A lot of stuff I didn't actually sign up to do. And I also sat in VC almost every day, waiting for people to come and talk to me, and very few people did. The people that still did, I'm still friends with. But a lot of people didn't. It was definitely beginning to feel like a environment where different people were putting a different amount of effort. And that is also okay, but I was starting to feel a little bit awkward about how much work I was doing and how little I was actually getting back. Pings were not respected. It took, I think, like almost a month to get a schedule from 14 people posted into the public Discord so that I could make it public. And it looked really unprofessional, and that was so stressful for me. And I remember bringing it up at a meeting, and I was sort of just like shunned for it. I was like, hey, the formatting's wrong and this is going to look really bad. And I was like kind of just told, well, that's not a big issue to me. I did a lot of work, but for some reason I couldn't publicly state that I did the work. Like there was no, when we had like the announcement, there wasn't like a kind of public, hey, Lennox worked on this Discord, which I don't expect. But if I personally had a group, I would be like, hey, this person did all this, we should thank them. There was a lot of stuff that was kind of just done, and then I would get told about problems. Like people were coming to me and going, hey, I have this problem with the Discord that I need you to fix. And I would have to like explain that it wasn't a problem and that they just needed to like tick a box to get access to stuff. There was a lot of, I'm kind of going on a tangent, it's hard to word things now, but there was just a lot of stuff going on where my work was not being appreciated and it was starting to really burn me out. I remember having like a migraine because I'd been working on the Discord for I think 2 days straight to make it perfect, and anyone that had been in that Discord saw.
If anyone of you ever set up like a Discord properly with all the rules and regulations, all the roles being set up, making sure nothing's fucked up, that the right people have access to the right channels, that there's restrictions put on channels, it can be a whole huge fucking headache. Especially if there's a lot of complexity to your server and there needs to be a lot of channels. I don't have a personal Discord, but I do moderate like 2 Discords personally. And I know what a kind of pain in the ass it is to set up a Discord on your own, especially. Like managing it is a headache already, especially if people have issues with you. But setting it up and then having to do troubleshooting for people that do not fucking know how to click like a reaction in order to get access to a particular channel, it can get pretty fucking grating. And when you're like Lennox that has, you know, anxiety issues to the point where it affects them physically, you can kind of see how dangerous it could be in an environment that Marina decided to foster, where Marina did jack shit and everyone else just, you know, did essential slave labor without knowing it.
How well it was done. Like I'd really put work in to make it perfect. I had like not just all the chats perfect, but I had chats sitting there ready to go live. Yeah. Like everyone was just kind of to volunteer for tasks. But then there was very little thanks when people were doing the tasks. It was pretty stressful. But again, that is like a personal thing, and I need to communicate when I'm stressed. And for a lot of it, I didn't communicate when I was stressed. And maybe I should have tried that. I think I might have communicated a couple of times, like, yo, I'm doing a lot of work and I'm getting really stressed out about this because I'm only getting negative feedback and I'm not getting a lot of like reassurance. And I think I'd vaguely hinted like we should be giving each other reassurance and encouraging each other. And it was not happening, and I'm like,
I mean, like you expect from like a safe space. Everyone should be able to do that. You have issues, there's other people there to help you with them, affirm you, make sure you're fine. But again, nobody gave a fuck.
Okay, but these are like very kind of little bits and pieces, and when it all adds up, it starts to boil over. And this is when we go into Offkai. I don't know if any of you in here came to my meet and greet at Offkai, but if you did, it was very nice meeting you, by the way.
A bit of context. Have you guys actually seen what kind of panel Marina and the crew had? There was an 18+ one, I believe, which, again, naked fucking VTuber models, which is fucking fantastic for a venue like that. And another one, I think it was about LGBTQ plus issues within VTuber stuff. I don't quote me on this. I do not remember correctly if there was a panel like that, but I do believe they had two things there. And I'm quite sure the one that it's 18 plus with Marina's fucking VTuber model tits being out in the open. That one was the one I remember vividly. So that's one of the type of panels they had during Offkai.
Offkai was when I started to have proper problems. And when I say problems, I don't mean I was mad at anyone. I mean, I was upset, and I was starting to see kind of just what is blatant. Now, I don't think ableism is the correct term. I think it's disableism, and it's not an intentional thing, per se. But it was blatantly kind of brushed under the rug. Oh, my heart's going again. It was lovely meeting you, Squid. I was so happy to see you. You're the main reason I came back from my break when I saw you, because it warmed my heart.
Skipping a bit again.
A lot of people in the group seemed to deem it a success. I didn't. It was an incredibly stressful experience for me. So the meet and greets were stressful, and mine was the first one, and it was hard for them to set up, but they did try their best. I can confirm this. However, when it came to the actual setting up of meet and greets, I was manually talking to people behind the scenes and getting all their meet and greet partners set up, because that was not being internally done. And that is almost like, I would say, like an everyone problem. But I took that on myself. And I set all of that up. And I don't know if anyone knew that I did that, but I did do that. I also made sure someone made it when they had no idea it was happening, on behalf of the group as a whole. I made sure people went to meet and greets. When I wasn't even at the event, I made sure everyone was at their meet and greets. I helped make sure everyone knew what was going on. We had someone with tech issues. I was DMing them, I think I DM'd them 5 times throughout the course of the week to offer to help them with their tech issues, but they just never got back to me, which is fine. But I can say I tried my best. The issue comes with the panel. I did. You're the person. I made sure you were there because you had a subathon. I remember I DM'd your meet and greet partner, and I DM'd you to make sure you were there, and I also DM'd the founder of the group. Yeah, you didn't need that because you were actually there, Kumo, but I was making... I made sure everyone had a meet and greet partner. I know I did a lot of work with... I also did a side bit of work during that, but that's a tangent.
This is all what VTuber managers do within agencies. Mind you, VT Rainbow, once again, not an agency, nobody was paid there. But this amount of work would warrant some kind of recompensation. You would want to get paid for the amount of work you do for a group like that, or at least get a thank you, but, fuck that. You set things up for a very technical thing you need to do on a meet and greet. You have to navigate technical issues of all kinds, and there were all kinds of issues during Offkai. If some of you remember some sound and audiovisual issues that plagued some of the Face Connect meet and greets, you would know that all of these things kind of can snowball on you, and sometimes you just can't fucking help it because you aren't there physically and just cannot fix it.
We will go back to that.
Cannot be unfucked.
I did a whole group project that got thrown in the bin because Offkai was kind of more important, even though it was done. That was weird. But so when it came to Offkai, we had a panel. For those of you that don't know what a panel is, I don't either. And I didn't. And I'm autistic. So when I don't know what I'm actually signing up to do and getting into, it makes me really anxious. But this was the group expectation, and I wanted to do it really badly. I don't remember how much I brought it up at meetings, but I did say, what's actually happening at this panel? What's actually happening at Offkai? And when off-Kai discussion came up, we were essentially told if we're not physically there, we can leave the meeting now. It's over. We don't have to worry. So I had a lot of faith that it would be okay. So essentially what had happened with off-Kai is it got to the point where it was like a day or two before. And I put this really long message up. I'm actually probably just going to read what I said, like, directly out loud, if that's okay, because I think it's important to know exactly how I handled this. So let's hope my PC doesn't crash when I open this, right? Okay, let me get this. I found it. Right, I don't know what happened exactly before this because I'm not in the Discord anymore because obviously I left the group. And I didn't go around taking screenshots of everything because I genuinely had a lot of faith in this group and the people in it, right? And by the way, I can't see you guys right now. One sec.
Another thing about why some people didn't come up forward with all of this stuff is that a lot of them are very easily intimidated by a creator like Marina that has a lot of followers on Twitter and on Twitch, and people immediately translate that into getting dogpiled by someone's followers. And to that I have to say, fuck all of them, say your piece, because otherwise nothing will ever get done. And people like Marina will just keep on getting away with shit. And again, a lot of these things seem like very tiny issues in like a bigger perspective, because there's a lot of more awful things that Marina has done, but it once more shows you a whole picture of what kind of character Marina has, and that all of this is about self-promotion and making sure that others are working for you and you do jack shit for them in return.
Ah, there we go. So, keep in mind the meeting group was like 5 AM for us, which is neither here nor there. When I say us, I mean UK. I believe before this conversation happened, I brought up that we had no questions for the panel. No one knew what the questions were. I don't know what it was like if you were physically there in person, but the people that were there not in person had no questions beforehand. Like, none. I think that is a massive oversight for any able-bodied, non-disabled person. But when you're autistic, you kind of need to know the who, what, where, when, why. And I did a lot of work making sure that the group understood as a whole that I want to help everyone help us. So I didn't want anything done for me, but I did want to help everyone in the group help me when I'm struggling. You were told to wing it in person. I didn't know that. Okay, so you didn't have questions beforehand either. That is really unfortunate. So... Right. So I brought up, I said, so this is verbatim. I said, now a little earlier would have been better with like a happy nodding emote. Like I definitely tried my best to convey my emotions in a nice, friendly way. At this rate, I don't feel comfortable doing the panel due to the audio thing, alongside just being very unsure of what to expect. The
Yeah, the audio fucking issues were a plague during off-Kai.
audio thing was, apparently we can't change our audio on the fly, and we have to make sure it's perfect beforehand. I have a Go XLR with a Shure SM7B. If you're familiar with this microphone, it's gain hungry and it's really quiet without post-processing. Really? That was what was going on? Okay, cool. So, I got treated really badly when I brought up that we should have known what was going on. I don't know if other people with panels knew what was going on, but I kind of expected this too. Yeah, I do have a preamp, kind of. Oh, I have a cloud lifter, but whatever. I was stressful because... I was stressful? I was stressed for a lot of reasons, right? Also, hello, Lumi. So, yeah, I was like, so I clarified here and said, alongside just being very unsure of what to expect. I may speak somewhat eloquently, and I'm good at asserting my boundaries and needs, but there's still boundaries and needs, even if I can communicate well, and I can't ignore them and cause myself this much discomfort and stress. Sad face. So this is me saying, I don't think I can make this panel because I don't know what the questions are, I don't know what's expected of me, and I'm worried that no one's going to be able to hear me at the panel. And I've never done a panel, and I'm fucking terrified, and I don't know how many people are going to watch this. And I just need some moral support at the bare minimum. I just needed a 5-minute chat, or for the group lead to show me the questions so I could prepare mentally for what to say. And now I can confirm many people were anxious and DMing me behind the scenes during the panel because they were anxious and didn't know what to do. So I was kind of doing a lot of the group lead stuff that the group lead wasn't doing. Yeah, it was meant to be main stage, but Iron Mouse's thing went over time, so we only had like 20 people watching. There was no prep ahead of time. We were told that we should, we can't complain about the lack of questions because we should have given her questions ahead of time. And we can't complain about needing them if we weren't going to help her come up with them. I don't think that's fair. I think everyone, like, as a group should have been accommodated, and we should have had a meeting, taken 20 minutes aside during the meeting to prepare questions together, or to at least, I don't know, provide human decency and empathy to the people that are stressed out. I don't think this is just an ableism issue. I think this is a general, like, lack of kindness for others.
Have any of you ever been in like a school project where you're paired up, or like you put in a group with people that none of them actually want to do any shit? Like they all want just to have an easy ride through like an assignment. And there's always going to be that one person that will take the reins in order to actually get the assignment done. They usually do it on their own because everyone is either too lazy or too incompetent to do it. And this is kind of like a situation like that. But here, nobody knows what to actually do because the person that's supposed to be in charge, the group lead, which is Marina, does not want to actually reach out and, you know, do things that are expected of her as a group founder and group leader. She expects all other people to do shit for her instead.
Meaning before we asked for prep. Okay, I don't even remember that, but I'm sure it did happen. Right, it just helps to know that I'm not making this up in my head, you know what I mean? Right, so I was told in response, and this is verbatim, by the group lead, you don't have to participate if you don't want to. No problem there. I've been juggling a million things on my end. I already said that as a baseline, the panel will be member intros, a few questions from our MC, and Q&A from audience. It's only an hour, but we have wiggle room as the last panel to go longer a bit. Everyone should be able to chime in once and should be mindful of time. I did a ping for any suggestions or questions or discussion topics, and I don't think I've seen any. So everything has been on me to plan. I'm doing my best. And if that doesn't meet anyone's boundaries, they can step away from the panel. People should do what's best for their mental health. Since we're a collective and not an agency, that means work has to be split to volunteers, or ultimately falls on me. Again, I'm doing my best and I'm stressed beyond words. That was what we had thrown at us as I had thrown at me as a response. Yes, please, let's not throw around any labels. Let's not armchair diagnose anyone. Please be respectful in the chat. We can talk about what I'm saying, but I don't want to assume anything about anyone. But personally, it hurt me. Yes, it did. It made me feel like shit. But it kind of is also just like an inherently ableist narrative to assume that everyone can just do that. It's one thing if we're getting paid and we're told ahead of time that we're expected to do this, but we weren't. We were kind of just thrown to the wolves. So I responded and explained, I've been consistently expressing my concerns. People can confirm that I had been expressing my concerns the whole time. Anxieties and asking questions that have been missed. Sadly, I do understand you have a lot to do, and I've also been mostly on my own micromanaging and trying to set people up to speed with things and making sure things are done. I had many people talking to me in private and saying they didn't know what was going on and they were anxious. I actually think Kumo had messaged me at one point and said she didn't know what was going on, I think, at one point when I was trying to do something, but I forget what the context was, but I do think that happened. And the only reason I'm bringing up Kumo more than anyone else is because Kumo has also been open and talking about this. I don't want to put people in a situation where they're stressed, they're anxious, or feel like they have to confirm things.
I'll skip around a bit because, again, I get to the point where I actually want to listen to more of it, even though I've watched this live. I've been on this stream for like, when it was live, for like 3 hours, just listening to it in the background. But there's more stuff to it. Essentially, to give you the quick rundown of what was happening, is that Marina was using people's hard work within VT Rainbow to get ahead, use it for self-promotion, with the final attempt, with this purpose of monetizing VT Rainbow at one point. And that is, I believe, also mentioned by Lennox within the stream at one point. And I don't remember exactly at what timestamp it was. Again, very long stream, over 5 hours. If you guys want to look for it, you can. I'm quite sure it's in there. But essentially, what else was mentioned on the stream is that whenever Marina's partner was also mentioned, like not in a very unfavorable way, then all hell fucking broke loose, and mini drama started then as well. So whenever something happened to Marina or Marina's partner, then they made a whole fucking big deal out of it. But whenever anyone else brought up any issues, then all of them were usually ignored, or they just brushed under the fucking rug as not very important. Let me skip around to like one part that I deemed also important in this, and then I think we can move on to another part of this. Again, very enlightening stream by Lennox there. If you guys want to know more what happened within VT Rainbow, you guys got the link within the chat, that mega link, the archive of the full stream.
I guess I was getting really bad vibes, and I don't want to say too much because I don't fully remember what was said, but it ended with me asking if I should just delete everything that I made and delete the chat that I made for it, and the group lead told me to delete it. And so the whole thing that I planned, it was scrapped mid-meeting, and that was that, and it was gone.
Here she's talking about like activities and events that were planning, and whenever she brought something up, you know, in order to promote the group, to actually promote the group's activities, which was essentially promoting LGBTQ plus whatever stuff to other people, collabs, all of that good stuff. Whenever something was mentioned that was supposed to help with that, Marina and the inner circle decided, nah, fuck that, fuck your shit.
Thank you, Morga. That does mean a lot because that was me stepping out of my comfort zone.
Skipping again. Skipping quite a bit.
I'm totally chill with you. But yeah. Off-Kai prep. There was no care to properly prep for Off-Kai or for anything. Nothing was properly prepped. There was a lack of willingness to allow members to help with group things, but then there was complaints because we didn't help. Meetings lasted upwards of 4 hours with no structure.
Imagine sitting in a fucking meeting for for a group like this for 4 fucking hours. You're not getting paid for anything. You're treating this like a hobby, essentially. And you're sitting there for 4 hours listening to them drone on about their shit.
And when we asked for more structure, we were told that we were asking for things and not giving solutions. The LGBTQ was not a priority. Constant sponsors were. Sponsors that were done with no contracts.
Yeah, the sponsors mentioned here. I hit the nail on the head. It was mentioned.
And info was not properly
monetizing.
Divulged. Group lead did not want to coddle people or hold their hands or babysit them. When really we were just trying to accommodate simple needs, and it was labelled as a group of friends, but there was a lot of corp stuff going on. It was very strange. Yeah, exactly. All my friends, I think almost every single person in my life I know has messed up my pronouns like at least once, and that's totally
skipping it.
Comfortable. Projects were scrapped. Work was not thanked or appreciated. I felt like I know when I worked on the pitch deck, it was fantastic working with the people that worked on it with me. But it again felt like, I don't know, it didn't feel like it was fully appreciated for what it was, which is neither here nor there. Oh yeah, we had a lot of like really healthy back and forth working on the pitch deck, and I really enjoyed it. Like me and Mia had very different opinions on how to do it.
Skipping again.
Yeah, it took like 10 days for that call to happen too, because I'd said like, hey, I just want to clear things up, and I wanted to make sure the group lead was okay from the discussion about the panel, and I also wanted to make sure that my needs, or not even needs, I keep saying my needs, but it wasn't my needs. It was me trying to create a professional environment for a leader that couldn't create a professional environment. That's another thing that was an issue, because later down the line, I was shunned from the group for talking about things that I will not discuss that didn't involve the group leader, but apparently everyone's talking about me behind my back, is what I was gathering. But I don't think anyone was, from what I've heard afterwards. But then I'm like, okay, everyone's talking about me behind my back, and they don't like that I have this kindness of wanting to include everyone, and they don't like my efforts. And so I think I said to my partner after the meeting that was said, I think that fucked me up for like a good week straight. And I think it's important as well, people can cause harm without purposely being manipulative, and I don't want us to just straight up say that someone is being manipulative on purpose, because we don't know. But it fucked me up really bad, and I don't think I said this at the time, but I think I said something along the lines of like, people that have an issue with that might need to kind of do some digging, because that is like an ableist mindset. Because I wasn't asking it. I didn't once ask anyone to do anything for me other than I asked.
Her problem here is, Linux's problem here is that she expects gratitude and things to work out the way she expects them to work out in a group like that. But we're talking about Marina here, and she's giving Marina so much credit for nothing. She has proven to her that Marina is not a good leader, is essentially not a good person, and just essentially wants to promote herself and make sure the group is monetized and has sponsors at one point or another. So expecting things of Marina at that point is just kind of fallacious. I don't know why give someone so much benefit of the doubt, even after experiencing so much grief. I do not get it, but I'm skipping around.
Towards me in the group in the end, I wish it could have been handled differently. While I know you have ties to others, I hope you can keep an open mind to what we're expressing and know that I am handling my own channel and business. I hope that others involved come and talk to me themselves. I'm sorry if you felt I was being manipulative to others or had treated you in a way where I didn't deserve kindness. I can assure you I've had the best interest of the group as my priority. The group takes a lot out of me, and I stick with it because I love what we stand for and the friendships I've made. I hope you feel better and that you take care of yourself. You deserve rest, and I wish you the best with everything you do. To an untrained ear, that might come across like a very kind message. But the TLDR of that to me was, I'm sorry you feel that way. And I was essentially told that all my actions were unkind and that they came from me being upset. I don't know what the group stands for either.
But hey, if you want further details on the stream, I linked it again. I'm gonna link it again, relink it, in case some of you missed it. And you can watch the rest on your own, as we have things to go through. So TLDR, Marina was using VT Rainbow in order to get ahead of everybody else. Anyone that wasn't part of the inner circle got used. Linux gear got used for her managerial skills, which she herself probably didn't know she had, but she did her best with what she was given, and she was given very fucking little based on all of these statements here. And essentially gave Marina a bit too much credit, bit too much benefit of the doubt, and she burned herself for somebody that doesn't fucking deserve it. And yeah, here's the link again. And we have to move on to another part, because there's still a lot of things to go through. So here, that's the VT Rainbow shit that we have out of the way, which gives you an idea what kind of person Marina is when she deals even with the people she's supposed to be friends with. Her closest associate, supposed closest associates, and a group that was supposed to be everything and a fucking cherry on top when it comes to LGBTQ, AI plus LMNOP alphabet whatever group. Which it wasn't, because Marina is a selfish cunt and doesn't want to even thank people for their hard work, because they aren't providing essential solutions. But yeah, you watch the rest of that on your own. No, or to check that I'm not talking out of my ass. And next, we have the aftermath of this shit. The aftermath of the Twitch ban, because that set in motion a whole thing that was partially hilarious, partially not, considering a lot of people lost a lot of opportunities based on that. But let me get the music back up, since I can do that now. Back to jazz. So, Marina got banned. The ban was like 1 day, 1 hour, something like that. And the day after the ban, or like a few hours after the ban, had this to say. Just woke up a little while ago, and I went to sleep right before Twitch issued a 1-day ban. Details below. I appreciate all the people who have reached out and checked in. I don't think I've ever woken up to so many DMs, but here's an update for the curious. I was issued a 1-day ban, and it was for my model itself in the middle of my screen having inappropriate attire and not the nude art on the sides. The nude art on the sides was within TOS, which I doubt it was. As to why the ban, I'm not sure, as my active model was never naked, and she did show fucking nipples as when she was bouncing up and down with that fucking model at one point, so even that is not accurate. I was never naked and never moved higher than the cleavage up position. And again, this doesn't apply to fucking VTuber models, because Marina, again, didn't fucking read the TOS properly. I framed it after the in real life streamers that were now protected under the focused camera portion of the TOS, to which I followed the sexual themes requirements. I've talked to another streamer that I had the exact same setup as myself, except they had a normally positioned model, so clothes were visible. They did not get banned, and Twitch even emailed them to say turn off the sexual themes label. It was already on. But given the way Twitch treated their stream, it seems to confirm that displaying nude art is fine, including model art, but the active model itself needs to have visible clothing on. For further clarification on the people's TOS confusion, content with a focus on fictionalized nudity art is now allowed. As you can see at the very bottom point, no VTuber can have their model active model naked. Another clarification on the art itself is that it can contain nudity but no sexual acts. Think solo posted nude art where the individual is not touching themselves or engaging with others. What Marina here doesn't understand that Twitch has reached out to not safe for work artists in order to allow them to draw. Just showcasing fucking porn on your stream is not anything creative. It's not any kind of fucking process like drawing, sculpting, whatever the fuck. Marina failed to recognize this. And then there's more. I know people have expressed discomfort with the new TOS changes and allowance of nudity. I feel that Twitch needs to allow people the same control over the other sites that are not strictly 18 plus like Reddit. People should be able to opt out of seeing sexual content completely. I believe all users should have to verify age to even see streams, and the thumbnails should have content warnings. Otherwise, they should be hidden full stop. As of right now, all creators can do is label responsibly. The rest is up to Twitch. But Marina will still fucking use and abuse the rules in whatever way she sees fit. God damn, let me have a drink. I'm talking too long. I appreciate all the support from my community, including everyone new that has followed here or on Twitch. I'll be back on Twitch tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST. See you all then. And then we have some of the replies to this. Please stop acting like you were doing something righteous. You were bragging on stream about your numbers and banning people. Trying to warn you about what you were doing. The person who started this was doing it to prove a point. You, on the other hand, did it for the clout. And if you remember the previous part of the stream, Marina was gleefully retweeting people from various big accounts on Twitter noticing this, and she was incredibly happy about it. Not only did you test boundaries, you had your mods ban people who warned you. Also, you can get more followers. I'm ashamed of your actions and hope that you realize how much you could have ruined everything for artists. But then again, based off this, you only care about yourself. I don't know why people are bothering responding to this. I'm only stating this for others to see. This is all about clout and it will be old news in a week. Use your time wisely. Please stay gone. You banned a lot of people who genuinely wanted the best and were scared that you'd be banned. You slandered and allowed your community to insult these people as well, myself included. You're an absolute joke. I can't believe you're a part of this community. You don't deserve a platform if this is what you use it for. You need Twitter and Twitch revoked and banned indefinitely. It's sickening to know you'll never be banned because Twitch only cares about, and then discontinued within its own rant. But you can kind of fill in the blanks on this one. The entire VTuber community hates you. LMFAO. And based on this statement and based on what I was seeing, some of you may have seen it as well, is that the response to this was overwhelmingly fucking negative. I haven't seen I've seen a few positive posts about it, and it was mostly from Marina's closer associates and people that used to defend her whenever they had the chance to do so. But mostly it was just her getting felted all throughout social media. Quote retweets extravaganza. So much so that Marina decided to just close the replies to her fucking Twitter posts. God damn it, I wish it was longer. Drawing means you draw. You just drew up not safe for work images and then called it a day. As for the nude model, active or not, it's still your current model, right? So the genitals still should have been covered. Feel free to ask a member of staff if you are that serious. And mind you, her model, like a static image of her model in the nude, fully, genitals shown and all, was showcased right to her active model. So that's not just art showcasing fucking porn. It's once again not any kind of process of creating the art. I'm praying that one day you get permabanned. You're no better than Elara. I hope you both get a nice serving of karma. And mind you, because Marina wasn't the only person trying to test the boundaries, Marina's girlfriend or whatever tried to do the same, and I think they also got banned. And there were other people doing the same, so Marina's idea got transferred over, or maybe, you know, at least inspired some of these people to do the same stupid shit with Twitch. Homie, why are you acting like you did this to call out something? You tried to pull off a loophole to benefit yourself. At least Mortpie did it for charity like JFC. Did not read the new rules completely. Yeah, we're pushing the line. Bind your chatters tell me not to. Already have an OnlyFans. Literally zero need to do this on stream. Comes days after Twitch banned the Asian girl for doing the same thing. Here's your sign. Making this clear, I am not associated with the VTuber being discussed right now and have not been associated for months. I will not name her directly because the clout is what she wants. The actions and others last night disgusted me. Now back to my silly videos. Marina VT, teacher turned VTuber. Also Marina VT, misinterprets new Twitch policies. Also Marina, gets banned. Skill issue, how to read. And here's Linux commenting on it. Based on the VT Rainbow Discord, which shines a new light on it. Her group's Discord wasn't age-restricted at all. I was shocked to be single-handedly moderating a bunch of kids when her space is clearly adult, as is most of her ex-group. It was me who pushed it for it to be 18+. Considering recent events, this only adds further concern. She should know better if she used to be a teacher. Her priority was getting Discord partner, but you can do that whilst not letting kids in. It was very strange to be one of the one making sure the rule was put in place in a year-old group with many adult creators. And as you know, once you get adults and fucking minors on the same Discord, you're bound to fucking get some cases of grooming, especially from the people in power. So congratulations on making sure the Discord is run well. God damn, what a shit show. That's so nasty. And to think of the amount of times she tried to take in moral high ground or on anyone. Yep, one of my biggest issues and concurrent red flags with her is the hypocrisy. Did not like her the second she tweeted something about how being a bitch is my personality. No way, I never saw this. Oh god, yeah, I remember this. I think she made the tweet right after making one bragging about being shit to her students for fun. Yes, this. And guess what other things happened in the aftermath? Do you remember the glitch energy drink? Like supplement energy drink thingy that Marina was involved with? Well, something cool happened with that one too. It's Friday. Good morning, Glitch fam. One of your sponsors, by the way. Showcasing Marina in the nude on Twitch. And Glitch Energy responded with this. We have released this individual with immediate effect. Oh no. The loss of sponsors. Because you can't have someone that controversial doing shit like that and be the face, one of the faces of your company. one of the people that you sponsor. And it's not like Glitch Energy is the good guy in this situation either, because when people have pointed out that Marina was harassing Taiga, like making false pedophilia accusations against Taiga, Glitch Energy went out and defended Marina. They didn't give a fuck then, but only decided to give a fuck about it now. So, Glitch Energy a shit, but, you know, she still lost sponsorship. And her girlfriend also lost the same sponsorship, because both of them had Glitch. And, you know, once you lose sponsorship, it's time to go on an apology tour, which Marina did. I owe artists in VTube. Oh, by the way, I didn't show this, but Twitch went back on the rules regarding sexual content. They essentially decided to dial all that back to their previous state. They said, "Fuck this! People are abusing the rules, so we're not gonna have that." So all of the opportunities that not safe for work artists could have had to get ahead, to earn some money and get some attention from this, all of that is fucking gone. Because of the stunt Marina and other people decided to pull. And she had this to say after the sponsors fucking left. Excuse me. I owe artists and VTubers a huge apology. I never meant to cause any harm. I did genuinely believe after reading the TOS updates multiple times that it was okay to display fictionalized nudity on static art as long as I labeled it correctly. With the TOS changes, clearly streams like my own and many others were not in line with what Twitch had anticipated, and I deeply apologize for that. In the end, it was reckless and selfish to not wait longer and see the TOS changes took effect instead of testing them in the way that I did. I had a lot of love for the artists and the community, and I never meant to contribute to something that harmed them. I acted in a way that made many others uncomfortable and was, in hindsight, very unprofessional. Bottom line, I should have not done what I did, and I will do better. I'm sorry I have let people down. Yeah, I'm quite sure these apologies have been accepted. No, they haven't. People decided to rail on her anyway. And it's not like people actually believed in the sincerity of these apologies, but she had more to say still. A couple of extra things for clarification. Some people are commenting on the timing being so late in the day, and what I say is I woke up right before this. I usually wake up in the late afternoon / early evening. So the TOS revisions, and I felt absolutely awful. Had majorly fucked up. I had immediately sat and wrote an apology, realizing that even though I had previously thought it was in line with the TOS changes, that didn't matter. Damage had been done that I contributed to. And I needed to own up to that. I feel genuinely terrible for causing pain to artists. Artists are the foundation of the VTubing space, and they didn't deserve to have the TOS reverted. Some people have been commenting that I was banning everyone who came in to warn me. This is untrue. I had many conversations on the stream about the TOS update, and I have interpreted them. I have a whole team of mods that work very hard, and I know they banned countless people coming into my stream, but these were all, to my knowledge, bad actors. There's that deflection. There's that D. There's that big fucking D in today's stream, the deflection. Because the people criticizing her had to be mostly, if not all, bad actors. Most bans I didn't even see because I was constantly behind chat. While I discussed and defended my stream during the stream itself, I am making it clear now that I should not have done the stream the way it was done. I should not have rushed the stream with my understanding of the TOS changes. Without waiting and seeing how they actually would be used to the community at large, I fucked up. A lot of people seem to be talking about the stream who did not attend it. All I can say for the actual content and structure is that I did my normal just chatting stream while showcasing nude art on the sides. It was not a cam show. No. Because a cam show requires different things. It doesn't, you know... You can discuss philosophy. and still be fucking naked, right? And then it's not a cam show. Like, just take your fucking pants off, show your ding dong or whatever else, and discuss philosophy. Then it's not a cam show anymore. The nudity doesn't matter. Then it's just chatting. More deflection. There was no sexual interactions with chat. It was just a chill chatting stream with fucking porn. I have no intentions of ever doing a cam show style stream on Twitch. Ultimately, I should not have displayed the nude art or had my model in bust-up framing that I did. And I understand why there was confusion about the content and the structure of the stream itself. God damn, that's such a fucking cope. Jeez. And here comes another hero, which is gonna be mentioned later on, as Megumi Kuragiri, a different VTuber, had a lot to say about Marina, and she's gonna have a lot to say about Marina still in the latter part of the stream, because we're not done just yet. On a website with 31 million active users a day, and 40% which are minors, there's no way you can play ignorant to that. It's not the first time you've taken advantage of something for your own gain. You've always moved selfishly, just like when you gathered up the Afterglow so you could turn it into your own cloud climbing group. Let's not mention the amount of times you would make people uncomfortable by pushing sexual boundaries. And we get to what the Afterglow fucking was and what boundaries Marina pushed during that time as well. Because that part is really eye-opening. All of this stuff that you have seen up to this point, that's just like a fucking prelude. This is fucking nothing. You shall see. And here's Linux clarifying about the 18 plus Discord thingy that was mentioned before. To clarify, I know I have said it here, but people are still misreading. This is about the VTR Discord. It was so strange to see Discord full of not safe for creators not have an age limit. The whole group can back me up if needed, but we're all fucking tired of being tied to her shit. And then Marina decided to say more because, you know, Marina has to talk. Marina cannot stop talking, otherwise, you know, people may just start seeing through the bullshit if they investigate well enough. Simply put, even though I was in the right in the moment, I didn't think about what I could or would happen if I was wrong. That was selfish. That is something that will sit with me forever. I'm sorry I let everyone down and disappointed so many friends. I will do better. And then more. Logging off Twitter for tonight. Going to continue to create my social media and block negativity or things that just aren't good for my own mental health. Mind you, the people that were banned on her chat were also reporting that they have been blocked by her on Twitter. So that's fantastic. That's some quality A curation there. A lot of people have taken the opportunity to post fake things about me. Misinformation or misinterpretation of situations. This isn't anything new for me. Remember, you can always DM me if you have questions or concerns regarding anything you see. No, you cannot do that because you block people. Many people have valid criticisms of how I handle myself on my stream. Yeah, and they were banned for it. But many people have personal ulterior motives and just seek to cause harm. I will say again, I fucked up with my stream the other night. And I take full responsibility. I'm deeply sorry for that. I've elaborated more in my past few posts on my page. If you want to take a look. I'm going to focus on doing my best, giving my time, energy, and love to my community, and taking care of myself to the best of my ability. So basically, she got tired of people shit-talking her, and she was not able to change the narrative in any sort of effective way. Again, overwhelmingly negative response to everything she had fucking said. I haven't shown you most of the quote retweets, but it's basically all shitting on her with various arguments. you can check out a lot of these tweets. Most of them should still be up, if not all of them. Just go and check the quote retweets for some hilarity there. And here's a few of these, actually. Giving my time, energy, and love to my community. A community you actively harm with your actions. A community now that has to hunker down because you fuck up has given them excuse to spread hate and bigotry. You don't deserve a fucking community. Because, you know, this is a problem with tribalistic nonsense on social media. Once a representative of a said group, and Marina is a loud and proud representative of the transgender community, and considering she did what she did, and her actions are gonna be reflective on the whole community, even though they shouldn't, because this is like a personal choice of hers. People who believe that, you know, one member is indicative of the rest of them are just gonna take all of that and run with it to the bank. So this person isn't essentially wrong about that, because this is pretty much how social media works. And this tribalistic nonsense is just gonna continue. So Marina can be fined for that too. Even though, you know, this is her own fucking personal fuck up. And if you remember TFM Johnny, one of the founders of BT Rainbow, he also decided to fucking jump ship. Because too much is too much. Another founder, just based on these events, decides to fuck off. Given the recent events, I have resigned from BT Rainbow effective immediately. I hope to continue the mission of amplifying underrepresented voices in the VTuber community. I encourage people to check out the amazing team we are building at Geared Esports. And Maria comes back here to try to sugarcoat things again and try to make amends, ineffective as it may be, but she at least tried to do something. I've decided to take all of my earnings from subs, bits, and etc. during my stream earlier this week and pass it on to not safe for work artists I featured on my stream. This doesn't change or fix what happened, but it put that money where it's deserved. I've reached out to all of them. Please go give some love to these very talented creators. I don't think it's about the fucking people that worked for you in the past. It's for the fucking people that have lost opportunities due to your fucking actions. She doesn't seem to fucking understand that, and this doesn't fucking help anybody. And how many fucking bits and subs can she actually have? Divided by all of these fucking people. How much money are they gonna get? Like $5 per head? That's some fucking support. You're gonna buy a fucking slice of pizza. But with this fucking economy, I don't think they're gonna even can afford a slice of pizza. Reminder that after a few whole days, Marina has mentioned a lot of the accusations against her, yet still avoids talking about the Discord server plus minors like a plague, while feeding people walls of text about how others want to boost their own numbers for their own egos. And then another wall of text, because Marina cannot help herself. I want to echo what these two have stated, as they should have been left out of this completely. The screenshot circling around is completely out of context. This is talking about the screenshots where Devil was talking about like Marina sending spies after people. So again, depends who you believe in this situation. There was no Discord for making fun of neurodivergent people. It was a social server. It was 300 plus VTubers. It was designed for support. There was no sending of spies. It takes 2 seconds of looking at the screenshot to see it's 1, out of context, 2, not serious, / clearly joking exchange between friends with a laughing emoji even, and 3, literally 3 lines long. The original poster of the screenshot has a history of posting about me over to the point of harassment. I don't interact with them and they don't know anything about me or the server. They didn't do this in good faith, they did it for the attention. like somebody else we know in this conversation. They didn't even take the time to blur out the names of the people who weren't me, because they didn't care about the safety for other creators. Notice how all of this is fucking bolded. This fucking text is bolded, like she's making a fucking point. Only Twitter clicks at the expense of whoever it harmed. They even admit that the exchange was a result of them trying to whitewash me, something that was abhorrently wrong and deeply offensive. Another example, they speak about people while actually knowing nothing about them, something they continue to do. Literally want nothing to do with this person, respectfully request that they leave me alone. And this is like a common Marina tactic. She tries to character assassinate other people while vaguely addressing the actual issue the person had with you. Like, again, depending on who you believe in this fucking situation, could have been a fucking joke or could have been serious. But considering how Marina is, like, believe whatever the fuck you want. I don't trust this person one fucking bit. I would fully believe they would be capable of just sending other people after the people that she doesn't like. There has been disgusting rise of people posting misinformation, making up lies all across Twitter. The overwhelming amount of people trying to farm Twitter clicks of any situation involving me is a new thing, but it's on full display lately. Many friends / creators have actually reached out to me during all of this to ask me questions for clarification / explanations. And as I've said before, I'm happy to do so. A lot of things going around slander harm others, not just me. Please consider that there are genuine people voicing concerns, criticisms of what happened this week on Twitch. A lot of people that feel hurt from that. I fully respect the people who have given genuine criticism on that. But I stand firmly against the people who have tried to take advantage of this situation for their own personal gain by spreading lies or misinformation about me or others. And mind you, again, Marina addresses only the things that she can use to her own advantage in order to paint herself as a victim and in order to poison the well on the other fucking person that tries to make some kind of point against her. Again, that's just what Marina does, including these walls of text that only I would read because I'm like a glutton for punishment. And this was the Aftermath arc, so we are getting to the spiciest stuff now. We are getting to the miscellaneous part of the stream, in which the most horrid accusations are made against of Marina, some of which are corroborated by other VTubers that have been in the same circles as Marina. So, again, it's up to you to how seriously you're gonna take them and how much information you can extract from it. It's all down to your own. It's all down to your own interpretation, so to speak. So let me get that up. That's too big. Hold up. This is again all about that Discord. Her group's Discord wasn't age restricted at all. I was shocked to be single-handedly moderating a bunch of kids when her space is clearly adult, as most of her ex group. It was me who pushed for it to be 18+. Considering the recent events, this only adds further concern. And this is a good prelude to the other D in today's stream, which is the degeneracy of Marina and what she was up to. And this is again about the Discord. And here's something from my quote-unquote good friends from the Virtual Asylum forum. Here's the founder and the owner of TVA talking about the whole situation, VT Rainbow, as he himself has reached out to some people involved in this whole thing, and yeah, he had his own things to say. But let me actually hide my PNG because this screenshot is a bit too big and it's getting in the way. So I'm off, and you guys can read it along. Just let me enlarge it a little bit. And this is apparently what Proctor, once again the founder, owner of TVA, the Virtual Asylum VTuber forum, had to say after talking to Lennox. I reached out to Lennox at the time VT Rainbow first fell apart, asking for her side of the story. She did not respond, but claims that Twitter hid my messages and she didn't notice them at first. Considering the content of the message I sent, I believe her. When she did contact me on December 1st, it was extremely helpful and did her best to explain things to me. Here's a list of bullet points. 1. Marina and his lackeys are still trying to ruin her behind the scenes as of her contacting me. 2. One of the major harassers is Sylvie Spark, who has been contacting both Lennox and her entire known contact list, plus all her advertisers/sponsors, accusing her of being racist, transphobic, etc. He is described as a Marina simp till the day he dies, and is constantly making alt accounts to continue trying to contact Lennox after she broke contact with him. 3. One of the alt accounts is Fat Slovenian, Omega lol. And I personally also had an encounter with Fat Slovenian when I still had my original Twitter account. Fat Slovenian actually decided to quote retweet me with his attempt to dunk on me about something I had to say about some VTubers. And we're gonna see a few posts, a few highlights from Fat Slovenian. So the only connection that Sylvie Spark has to Fat Slovenian is based on what Linux said here to Proctor from TVA. So I personally don't think Linux would have many reasons to lie about this. How she knows this, I'm not sure, but Proctor didn't elaborate too much on that for whatever reason. But let's continue reading. 4. Multiple other former VT Rainbow members have suffered similar harassment. Most are scared to speak out of fear of their responses being used to further slander and isolate them. 5. Lennox is a biological woman, does not consider herself more than vaguely associated with the LGBTQ community, and has only further distanced herself from it due to these events. Given how open she was with me despite having already read this thread and knowing about the negative things said about her in it, I would be sincerely appreciated if people toned down further speculation about her. I'm not asking you to love her, visit her streams, donate to her, or anything else. Just be a bit nicer. She had every reason to tell me, "LOL, I'm not talking to you assholes," but instead she responded politely. We need that kind of trust if you are to be more than VT, which is again 4chan's virtual YouTuber board. Anyway, that's enough moralizing. Above all else, it's clear Marina is worse and worse with every passing revelation. The latest admission clearly paints him in an outright pedophilic light, and given all now I know about streamer culture, I entirely believe these accusations. I don't know how deep this rabbit hole goes, but I'm absolutely certain it goes deeper than this. And here's what I was talking about with Fat Slovenian, which is apparently Sylvie Sparks' alt, which he uses to harass people. Hey, Comfy Linux, if you give a damn about actually being an activist, maybe don't just casually chat up with transphobes and blatantly ignore this. Sorry, my throat is running really dry. And blatantly ignore them misgendering trans people simply because you don't like the trans person in question. Here's Fat Slovenian trying to poison the well with saying that Lennox is interacting with transphobes, therefore Lennox be evil. You're no ally, Lennox. You're a hypocrite and a fraud. And here's him screenshotting Lennox to dunk even more. If you've repeatedly done so for months, you're bound to have proof, right? You're just going to continue torching any respect people had for you by crying wolf. And here's Lennox talking about being misgendered in the VT Rainbow. And then he dunks more on Lennox and what she had to say. I love comfy Lennox's logic. I refuse to quote tweet. 1 hour later, quote tweets anyway, so I guess she got better. Notice how she basically says nothing in both statements too. Like it was written by 2 separate people. Yet aside from the statements of ableism, there's no meat on the bones. Nothing but weak statement with no backing. This is the kind of VTuber drama we don't need. Grow up. And here's him trying to dunk on Rev. Rev is a grifter, pedo apologist who makes his living saying the stupidest things possible to get other people, stupid people, to people angry. He's essentially a walking punching bag for the living. No, you're not. You sound like a lich VTuber when she backstabbed Silvervale and condoned the toxicity. Maybe focus less on someone's clearly badass design. Yours is crap, by the way, and be a better person. More like when Silvervale avoided taking any responsibility for her own actions. Lich didn't do anything. If anything, Silvervale backstabbed Iron Mouse when she threw her and everyone in Bishoujo under the bus because they didn't make her the mascot. And here's a fat Slovenian that decided to directly interact with the fucking almost month-long post from Lennox. This past week has destroyed my mental health. I have left VT Rainbow. I will be the first to be open and say I had long-term issues and concerns. Again, back at the end of September. It was not a healthy environment for me, and I do not wish to talk about it. Please respect it, and I'm sorry. Makes a baseless accusations about a whole group. Proof? No. Why talk about it? The only thing this does is potentially slander a whole group. If it simply didn't work out for you, then just move on. This is just creates needless drama, for fuck's sake. Firstly, this is incredibly bad faith and unkind. Secondly, I simply tweeted honestly about why I left. There is nothing wrong with this. There's no drama. It was all private and kept private. Well, it was a case of it simply not working out because everything I've said is true. Be kinder. Why did you tweet it? If one thing, it's one thing to just state that you left, but you can still tweet that without having to state the unhealthy work environment. If you don't want drama, then act like a professional. God, this guy is a tool. A real huge fucking tool. It's perfectly acceptable to be honest about why I left. I don't pretend everything is sugar and rainbows. Again, very ironic with the rainbows. Considering the name. When it isn't, to even suggest that it wasn't worded professionally is really unfair. More people should be dishonest, especially about bad environments, and again, there is no drama. Oh well, you're missing the point. You say you don't want drama, but you're setting up for potential drama by vaguely dropping your reason for leaving. Do you see the issue here? I never said I didn't want drama. I said there was no drama. There really is no issue for me. The only one with the problem, I think, I'm content with everything. I don't know why you, a complete stranger, is trying to tell me how to handle my life. You're creating drama. Not everyone who has an issue with something are open about it. It's very short-sighted. He continues to just badger her about it. Ah, I see. Okay, so I understand you have an issue with me being honest about things that have nothing to do with you. I suggest taking some time offline and reflecting on why you care so much about strangers. All the best. Sorry, I don't just believe everything I read on X without evidence. You don't need to, man. Like, you don't know me, and I'm not here trying to turn anyone against anyone. Just open about my time in the group and what it's done for my health, especially as one of the more active people. It's okay to scroll. It's really nothing to do with you, and I don't need your trust. So why talk about it publicly? Why do you open your mouth? Why do you state your experiences? How are you allowed to do this? Says fat Slovenian within the recesses of his own mind. And then Lennox had this to say finally. Literally all I said was that I left because it negatively affected my health. which my community cares about because I am disabled and have a lot of health issues as is. I did what I did because I wanted to, because I believe it was the right thing. There's nothing more to be said. And then we are back to TVA, as Proctor had more to say about Sylvie Spark and how it's actually tied to him. How Fat Slovenian is tied to him. Any evidence of this being Sylvie Spark, Salt? You want to collect good info. Having some archived evidence to connect things would be good. I'm afraid you'll have to rely on my word for now. Again, I would love to provide recipes, but most of the people willing to talk about this are incredibly cagey about doing so. In fact, it's only because Marina is ceaselessly causing trouble for them long after they swore themselves to silence just to stop him causing them trouble that they're starting to talk. It's like trying to communicate with tortured cats or dogs that were beaten every day of their lives. This man is pure fucking evil and has done a wonderful job of tormenting people into a state of paranoid fear about him and his verminous associates. Edit. I don't know how to archive Twitter videos, but this clip is solid gold. Warning, disgusting nude model on screen. We already seen that. Oh yeah, I have to show you that. I haven't shown you this one particular video, which is pretty funny, in which Marina states that a lot of VTubers aren't very smart because they don't know how to read TOS and spread misinformation. Where did I actually save it? Did I save it somewhere? I hope I did. So hold up. Is this it? Oh, this is the Taiga thing. God damn. If I didn't save it... Oh yeah, I did save it. Here it is. Hold up. It only shows it partially because, again, nudity on screen. So can't show all of that. Let me reduce the volume. And we're gonna watch that short clip.
So, I think some people... Here,
This is Marina speaking.
I'm gonna put this as nicely as possible. Not every streamer is very smart. Some are geniuses. Some, you know, are great. But I think some people either A, don't read the TOS themselves and they just look at other people posting misinformation, or they just don't think things through. And it's very explicit about the things that you can show and you can't show, right?
Yep. A lot of people aren't very smart, including you, Marina, and you certainly aren't the genius. No 4D chess underwater in low gravity is being played here. Certainly. And considering all of this backlash, yeah, it is what it is. Back to music and let's continue reading. We're almost at the very spicy part of all of this. Here's that statement about misinformation, where Marina tries to poison the well again. There's this deflection and her and mention of Marina not talking about the Discord server with minors present in it. There's Wings of Redemption eating himself to death. Sorry, I had to include that. and here's the spicy, where we get to the spicy part. Do you remember how Megumi Kuragiri mentioned the Afterglow thing? Well, a user on the TVA forum that goes by Midori, which is a certain green-haired VTuber that's also Menhera. No, it's I know how little that narrows it down to who it is. You can just be certain it isn't Russia. But this VTuber here had, well, she had personal beef with Marina and was also part of the Afterglow thingy. So here's an explanation of what it is. The proctor said, another individual worth looking into is apparently Fenezi, who is some kind of close associate partner, physically or otherwise, has not been revealed, to Marina. Very obviously a porn-obsessed degenerate by their likes and Twitter content alone. And Midori replied to this with, Fenezi is a Marina current real-life partner. They started online and moved in together. There are tweets of both of their Twitter accounts speaking about it that I'm too lazy and blocked to hunt for. Here's Megumi tweeting about, the afterglow thing. Megumi tweeted this out earlier. She rightfully tore into Marina and his apology. I'm definitely curious about the last part of the tweet as well. Also, Sleepy retweeted the tweet. But yeah, Sleepy was also involved with this, and Sleepy had things to say about Marina kind of vaguely as well. I didn't screenshot that, but Sleepy was had an opinion about it as well. And here's Midori explaining what the Afterglow is. The Afterglow was a large VR chat party Discord where events were regularly organized and held. Members of the server, which still exists today, including a lot of larger indie VTubers such as Lolotus, Konzetsu, Silverveil's brother, Mango, Sleepy Project, Megumi, iCandy, Buff Pup, Rose Doodle, Shiabun, TFM, Johnny, Marina, Yufu Baby, Evoria, Cottontail VA, Chuba Bubs, and more. These events were where Vichiban group initially formed their bond, and were generally pretty tame. The server has not been active since 2022, when it shut down. Majority of the members within the Afterglow were poached from Marina's private VR chat parties and events. It was the main reason that led it to shut down. Attached is a screenshot of the final farewell confirming that the shutdown due to the extremely low RSVP numbers. And here's the shutdown message. Hello everyone. I'd like to thank all of the party peeps who have supported Afterglow since it started. I never expected this group to grow the way it did, and it's something I'll always be grateful for. It's with a heavy heart that I need to announce that Afterglow will be officially disbanding and halting all the future parties. In recent months, our SVPs have been extremely cut. We went from full instances to barely hosting a consistent 9 to 10. With no fault to anyone, my parties are just no longer able to produce the hard music type of party environment that I set out to accomplish here. Bringing people together has been a deep passion of mine since high school, but this decision hasn't been easy for me. I want to say a big issue was that I got too ambitious with hosting themed events and mixing things up every now and then. I think I damaged the initial core that was started with and made things a little too unpredictable. I hope you all are doing well and take care. We will be closing the chat channel down officially tomorrow. I'm leaving up Discord to preserve the memories and photos taken here. One last ball sack for the road. Cheers. Here's Lennox once again clarifying about the Discord. Here's the proof with zero ulterior motive. The Discord was 18 plus until I asked. Wave 1 existed for like a year prior to me being VTR Wave 2. I had to join a VC. I wasn't even invited to that night to get it sorted in time to deal with the kids. It wasn't even a proper priority for her. And here's screenshots talking about the status of the server. Let me blow this up. Marina, is the VT Rainbow Discord 18 plus? Just a concern. I need to handle it soon because there might be a minor. Redacted invited redacted community and seems to be mixed ages. If it's 18 plus, I need to clarify it in the rules ASAP and kick the minors. I don't think we ever established it as 18 plus. However, there becomes a lot more responsibility surrounding minor safety. I don't know if I'm comfy managing minors. I've tried it before and it's hard. And I don't think we have the spoons to handle that. Redacted also said Redacted hasn't sent people over because it's 18 plus. This is a discussion we either need to have as a group or the site ASAP since I'm doing a big chunk of the modding and I'd like to make known I'm not comfy being around kids. Thank you for getting back to me, by the way. I know you've been busy on Fen's stream. Okay, we can figure it out. I don't have the spoons right now, spoons right this second, but I'll keep in mind. No worries. I'll try to keep a note of minors. Hi, Marina. I saw your tweet, and I don't want you having to deal with any kind of extra stresses right now. So please reach out whenever you need anything. Hey, if you're talking about redacted to the age limit discussion thing, just wanted to input, say early, not comfortable modding or even really being a Discord server with minors. This is too big, hold up. Here's Marina announcing the clarifications about the server, while not really giving a fuck within that conversation with Lennox. Quick clarification on the server age range. The server is intended for adults and no minors should be present. If you're under the age of 18, we appreciate your support, but please leave the server. Thank you. And if you remember, when VT Rainbow was actually established, it was in 2022, like April, something like that. Maybe a bit earlier than that even. So I can also assume the Discord server existed around the same time. So... So it's over a year that minors could have been on the server with all kinds of, you know, adults and adult creators, including Marina herself. So yeah, a lot of suspicious activity may have been around during that time. So a big concern. And now we go back to TVA as there's more talking about this whole situation. The story I heard was a VTuber. Again, it's obvious, but I'm not gonna outright say, was invited to Marina's server by a former friend and was not told about it, and apparently a VR chat orgy was happening. As the story goes, VTuber A immediately left and cut ties with the friend who invited her. Combining that with outing of underage folk showing up to Marina's parties, this could very well be why hardly no one is speaking as they as they would be implicated. VTuber Epstein Island indeed. Told you it was gonna get fucking spicy up in here. VTuber orgies with minors that could have been present in this as well. Concerning to say the fucking least. And Proctor responded to this post with something even more concerning. I can safely say that the VTuber Ace story is substantiated by what I have been told by more than one person. Around 2020, Marina and many other VTubers were involved in hosting VRChat orgies that involved a number of VTubers. I can't name names. I will, however, say that you really wouldn't be all that surprised by who else was there. And that when a VTuber makes a living out of not safe for work content, or has a history of taking about her slutty behavior on live streams, you can be absolutely certain that they're only telling you the surface level details, cherry-picked from the encounters that make them look good as opposed to creepy degenerate. It's always a sex ring. Always. Everyone has dirt on each other, so nobody speaks up. People like Marina thrive in that environment because they're utterly shameless and are perfectly willing to ruin anyone else, while not having even a shred of decency or dignity to ruin themselves. Let's say Iron Mouse is revealed as a serial VR chat coomer. I use Iron Mouse as an example simply because she is so ill and it's absurd to think of her doing something like that. I'm not implying she has anything to do with any of this. Her public image would instantly take a hit. People would talk, it would be a shock to many. Now look at an AGP like Marina. It doesn't matter how brainwashed you are by progressive gibberish, you know that he's a degenerate. You aren't going to be surprised when that reveal is made. You aren't going to go, oh wow, Marina, you were such a perfect, wholesome individual. I can never look at you the same way again. He's blatantly a sex pest, and anyone who associates with him willingly is clearly either a sex pest as well, or okay with associating with one. You can't ruin somebody like. Meanwhile, the second they have dirt on you, they have a sword of Damocles over your head for the rest of your career. He's the equivalent of a Christian's politician's secret Kedamite. And here is to give you a context, who is replying to Proctor here. The user called Smegmar is actually Megumi Kuragiri, I believe she was called, the other VTuber that was talking about the Afterglow on Twitter, if you remember. I'm not revealing someone's, like doxing someone's information here or anything, because Megumi here, she reveals who she is very quickly on this fucking forum. So don't worry about that, at least. And she had this to say about Proctor. About what Proctor said. Hey, I used to host those parties. I'd love to clear it all up and give insight to the situation in a bit, as I'm in the middle of a project currently. Marina fucking botched them to turn into a sex pest thing that she basically immediately dropped. But yeah, I'll write something up in a little bit. And Proctor responded with this. You're all free to tell your side of the story. I won't claim to have all the facts, nor do I want to slander anyone who simply got involved in something they were not fully aware of the implications of. Hence why I haven't been naming names. And meanwhile, while all of this was happening on the forum, here's Taiga getting informed that Marina is apparently slandering him. Apparently, the lady who can't help but expose herself to children wants to make herself the victim in all of this. Because of course her fuck up somehow has something to do with me. Hello Taiga, I'm here to inform you that Marina has been slandering you on stream. She didn't name you, but she made it very clear that she was talking about those that are aware of the situation and have their chat has gone to refer to you as a kid fucker. She also twisted the context to make herself look like the victim. And back to TVA, as we have the account from Smegmar, which is Megumi, as connected to what Proctor was last saying. Back when I was new to VTubing, I went by Nova and I was an event hoster in real life. So after helping run the first VTuber prom event, it was a fucking shit show, but I'm not gonna get into it because it had to do all the work with the help of other, while the main host just bragged about being his event, whatever. I met a lot of cool creators in the space all the time. The Aftergirl started with a fairly known creator made a tweet jokingly saying that they wish someone would host a party during COVID, since everyone was cooped up inside. I commented, having experience with doing this already, about hosting such an event. It was so successful, over 80 people RSVP'd. I decided to make the Aftergirl an official event that I would host once a month, on the last Saturday of the month at the same time. Real quick to clarify, the events were hosted in VRChat. I networked with a group of well-known creators in VRChat to set up live DJ sets and coordinate with world creators to customize these events for my parties. Like, I'd go to meetings about the future of VR and shit and help with volunteering at virtual events to help get my group extra assistance if we needed it. Like connections to DJs or whatever I needed, or programs to assist with live feedback into a world. I was very strict about my parties being for everyone regardless of size. Any VTubers or someone who was creative for VTubers, like my model's mama and whatnot, was allowed. Although I'd say about half or more of the attendees were fairly sizable creators. Now that I established some time went by with minimal problems, the introduction to Marina was when one of my friends who was used to be on the staff team asked if a friend could join staff to host not safe for work event at my parties. It was pretty fucking against this and told her no. And it turns out that Marina had decided that since I said no, she would host her own parties altogether. It wasn't a problem for a while, but I did not notice Marina getting in and schmoozing with people for their Discord information. I remember talking to one of my good friends who was up and coming at the time, and Marina barged in, interrupting our conversation just to get Discord details and then leave after complimenting something that was popping off of theirs. I also remember one of the only times I was critiqued negatively was by her because I did a big instanced event, multiple 80 people server for a party, and Marina was mad that she didn't get to be in the world with a really big creator, even though I put her with every one of her friends that she put out on her SVP form. Like, it was clear that she just wanted to clout chase. And in case you didn't notice any of that, this is pretty in line with all of the other behavior, especially when it comes to VT Rainbow, as Marina pretty much tried to grow off the group, not to promote the group itself, not to promote the people within it, but use it as a springboard for popularity. And, based on all of these accounts, all of this checks out. So a clear picture is painted. But there's more, because this is a very long post. Eventually, she did finally announce her first party, except it was being labeled as a VIP experience party and hosted on the same day and time as mine. She had a whole ass month picking any day, and she chose the day that mine was always hosted. I just couldn't reschedule because I put a lot of work into my parties. I had DJs scheduled, worlds prepped for the night, and volunteers to help me with the talent show portion in the middle of my parties, which was just fun side event for drunk VTubers to sing or tell jokes at and win awards. So all of my party goers who she had messaged behind the scenes stopped coming to mine to go to hers. I went from consistently getting over 80 people coming to my events with a wait list to get in to 9 people. I can only assume that people liked hers over mine because she'd been using her charisma to climb as a streamer and was starting to average over 100 around this time. Befriending other big not safe for creators, they would host these weird VTuber orgies, and I was basically a nobody who did not stream and only dedicated all their free time to hosting this group. So it's like, go to VIP party of a creator who is growing in popularity, or the nobody whose only reputation is hosting VR chat events. Or maybe she's just super charming, I don't know. Her parties were super base plate though, which I think pissed me off even more. She killed my party to host these plain ass events and sexually harass people, leaving my staff and volunteers with nothing. She was so fucking lazy about it. She even stopped hosting them fairly quickly, which can only assume is because she really realized how much fucking work it is. Who knows? Her last party was for her birthday. So she killed my passion project just to use it to gain popularity and then dropped them all together. I never gained anything from hosting. I didn't make money. It was essentially a part-time job. I didn't even fucking stream because I didn't have time. Her party Discord has a channel with all her model references, makes announcements about her streams and shit. Like, moves all these big creators in there for her parties and makes it pretty self-centered. And more. The party is just extra, you can ignore it. But I went to one of her parties. Around the time she started hosting, I had gotten hired for a VTuber company, Lumi Live. And Marina didn't know I was Megumi. I asked her for an invite, and I got it in because I was doing pretty well numbers-wise at the time. At the party, I literally heard her and her friends shit-talking about how killing my party was on purpose. Even got more confirmation from a friend who used to hang out with her at a later date. And at one point, she comes up and started crossing boundaries like fucking crazy. She started asking me what kind of porn I like, to which I didn't reply and just kept awkwardly laughing because I didn't know her. She then goes about how she'd love to just be in a Discord call with me and silently observe me while I'll watch porn. told you this was going to get much worse. And I delivered on this promise, I think. Holy fuck. Which just fucking blew my mind because I feel like it couldn't have been any clearer in my discomfort. I was trying to hang out with one of my friends. She then mentions how she loves to use her vibrator on Twitch streams while no one knows, and controls her friends while they are on Twitch, and asks me for my code, and at which point I'm no longer speaking and just leave. I avoided VR chat for over a year. It's just so fucking insane to me, with lack of awareness, and I can only imagine how many others she's been to like this. And I've already heard a couple of stories. You guys can ask questions if you want, but I hope this clears it up. Just ripped something away from me that was meant to be wholesome and made it into her own fucking cloud chasing bullshit. It's really fucking jaded me in this community. All these hours just to be left in the dust by some selfish cunt. Also, sorry if this is written like a retard. I am retarded. Maybe no, but sure as fuck eye-opening. And then, you know, another user asked for some evidence. Jesus Christ, do you have any evidence of these accusations you can provide? Have you publicly brought them up before? I'm not sure what kind of evidence you're looking for. I never recorded the parties before, and there was a big no-no at my events. Everything was pretty much done through VR chat, though, which are essentially live calls. I apologize for that. If you want access to Discord, this is a temporarily link. I don't think it works anymore. Everything was pretty much done in other people's DMs, and unfortunately, I didn't really have time to hound people down and ask them for the DM proof of her inviting them to her Discord. Especially, I've been told already that people fear coming forward about her because of her horde of supporters. In regards to Lumi Live, I don't think I mind talking about it honestly. I've been fucked over by corpos twice now. I am pretty over it. I can't talk about her second corp. I can't talk about the second corp though, as a lawsuit is currently pending and I don't want to add the fire per my lawyer's advice. I don't think this thread is for that though. Haha. And meanwhile, there's things with Taiga that is still going on. She practically invalidated herself when she was saying that the whole I can never called him a pedophile bit by essentially allowing her chat to call you a kid fucker. XBT Rainbow members have already confirmed she was the one who personally started the groomer allegations and called me a pedo to everyone. I think it's time to get the lawyers involved. Yeah, things are spiraling out of control. I wonder where all of this is gonna go eventually. This may be costly, but just pursue legal action. Might need to crowdfund it, but at this point, I don't know what else to do. And we're back to TVA, as the green-haired VTuber that I mentioned decided to chime in on certain things. And Murray says this: well, without any sort of evidence, we just have to take you as your word. You do have some stature in this community, a position and reputation you're putting on the line against Marina. Being able to provide evidence you're a liar, so that's not entirely worthless. Though, but any sort of corroboration, even if it's just the word of someone else in the community who would know these things and also isn't coming forward, would be useful. I was really not trying to out myself directly, but considering the fact that Megu is my friend and is taking an incredibly brave step forward here, I can fully corroborate her story. Not only was I involved in the afterglow, I was also a guest at Marina's private parties and witnessed the orgies, sexual harassment, and blatant clout chasing. I also spoke to a lot of similar indies that went to Marina's parties during that time, felt uncomfortable, but felt they could leave as it was networking opportunity with larger creators. I've spoken to Proctor in DMs who can validate my identity about a lot of my experience, as well as being the first whistleblower on this forum about the sabotage of the Afterglow by Marina. I am hesitant and scared to speak about this due to my past experiences with Marina, and not wanting her to rip all drama if she learned of my discussions. However, Megu is being incredibly brave, and I would like to support her in this. Manhattan, signed Manhattan Green Woman. Edit, this was terrifying to post, and I think I need a drink now. Yep, as you can see, all of this is I said it was concerning, but concerning is probably the bad word to use for this. I would say more of this is terrifying. If you know, if all of this is true, if both of these VTubers that were part of the Afterglow, if both of them, what they're saying is true, then there might be something even deeper and worse there. Because degenerate behavior on one side, sexual harassment, which is even worse on the other side. And then there's the ever-present risk of minors being involved in all of this. Really doesn't paint a very good picture, does it? It's pretty fucking terrible. And again, since this is a miscellaneous part of the saga, there's gonna be a lot of like random tweets as they are happening, as things are happening. I hope Marina VD knows autism is hereditary, because if their kid is on the spectrum, they very likely are too. If you see this, I hope your kid hates you for using them as a shield. Excuse your selfish, narcissistic cunt. Here's a tweet from Marina. Reminded that behind everything, I'm a human being with real things. I love the fucking excuse of I'm a real human being. As if people interacting with one another don't treat each other as humans. I don't know. I mean, shitty people treat other shitty people as shitty people, but you know, I always love the I'm a real human being excuse, as if it means something. I have a child with autism that is absolutely wonderful, and my main motivation to push through. As I stream full time because I was laid out of my previous teaching job due to COVID shifts, and I'm frankly and the rest of the tweet doesn't matter. And we are back to TVA with Megu, Smegmar saying more. As replying to Super Duper. This was all so horrible to read. What kind of twisted, opportunistic scum would co-opt someone else's passion project, sabotage it, and then throw it away like an unwanted after destroying the prospect of the original? This on top of the whole sex pest shit, harassment campaigns, and false pedophile accusations. This is unironically some of the worst shit I've seen in the VTuber community, and I naively thought I've seen it all. At Midori and Smegmar, I sincerely hope that whether or not justice finds that which has hurt you, can find peace of mind, and let this horrible individual be nothing but a distant memory. You have my sympathies. Honey, I got my justice when the community came together to dunk on her. Ha ha ha. Just feels nice to finally be able to talk about this stuff in public. Extremely cathartic. Yeah, I think this was more than worth talking about this and revealing all of that stuff, especially the sexual harassment stuff, because you have to understand that there are people in the VTuber quote-unquote community, in the VTuber scene, that can do the most awful shit, but as long as they have supporters and as long as they have like not an ounce of shame to them, they will continue to do what they do. There's like sexual predators, the sex pests that are just walking around, the virtue signaling shit every time some kind of VTuber drama pops up, and no one makes them accountable on anything. There are snakes in the fucking grass everywhere. And I think I should do, with a lot of preparation first though, a stream about one of these people. Because there's like two people that I always wanted to cover in detail. And I think more people need to know about them. If I had a bigger channel, because, you know, Jama channels and everything, it will certainly help with that. But, you know, I have what I have. So if you guys want to spread information about this, so people can at least get informed, because what kind of opinion they form about this is up to their own, but I still think that informing them about it is at least crucial, because some of the people that seem the way they seem aren't all they seem. They really need to fucking know, especially about the Marina stuff, because there was so little known about all of this until, you know, just two people decided to come forward about it, and then there's Linux that provided additional context about Marina's behavior too. So all of this should really paint a very clear picture. But yeah, let's continue because there's more. As Midori, the other VTuber, replies to Murray. For what it's worth, some people have had you sussed out in the other thread for a couple of days now. So this is sort of like when a friend with the lisp flamboyant shirts and Volvo gets everyone together and tearfully comes out as gay. At any rate, thank you for corroborating Megu's story. Hopefully, as more people speak up against what's happened here, I will encourage others to be able to share their stories in spite of the perceived social and professional consequences. Now stop reading here and VT and anything else other than your chat during stream, please. I know I was sussed out, but it was nice to have at least a little bit of plausible deniability. Especially considering there is someone who has targeted me not only publicly, but has privately smeared my name. Threatened many to stop talking to me and manipulated others into posting falsified documents about me when her attempts were fully successful. It's a little scary to imagine all of that starting again. What Midori hears is saying that her previous identity as a VTuber called Humors, Marina decided to essentially do a similar thing to Humors as she did to Taiga. Marina decided to poison the well on who Humors interacted with. Cherry-picked certain behaviors from Humors that were deemed undesirable by certain members of the community and made a huge stink about it on Twitter in order to sabotage Humors' reputation and essentially make her pariah. And then later on, Humors rebranded to a different VTuber, that green-haired VTuber we're talking about here right now. Who that green-haired VTuber is, you have to figure it out on your own. And then there's more Linux posts, because again, miscellaneous. My feed is constantly full of upsetting shit. This isn't what should have gotten people up in arms. It should have been when victims like myself came forward about abuse. Stop defending her because of bigots. She has harmed so many trans and LGBTQ people. So few people care to stand up for me. To this day, her and her friends who have done a very good job at staying hidden continue to DM me unprompted and slander me and unrelated parties. Asking random people prove that I'm not lying. People who don't even know me. She's doing it in people's chats too. She still wants me silenced. I want this to stop. Everything I have claimed is either backed up by physical evidence or has been backed up by multiple witnesses. Expecting me to have recorded interactions is insane. At Sylvie Spark, leave me those around me and strangers you are DMing alone, please. It's not just me he is hurting, it's those he is messaging. Not only is he claiming lies on everything said that can be backed up by every single member of VTR, but he is insulting their intelligence, talking to them all under the guise of help and advice. Leave people alone. And, you know, as we were talking about, you know, Marina orbiters, here's another one. I don't know if you guys know somebody by the name of King Criminal that also goes by the name of Crimbo. Well, give you a bit of a description here. Crimbo is an eternal fence sitter, also a pretty big degenerate, an artist himself, that always decides to bat for the worst kinds of people. And of course, he also decided to bat for Marina in this whole fucking situation. And there will be a lot of other contextual information about Crimbo as I go on through this. I'm honestly sorry to put more VTuber drama trash on your timeline, but I wasn't comfortable letting that slide. I know I only lose when I engage with people like Taiga because my community just wants to chill and be left alone. He thrives on attacking and being attacked. You know, you may be wondering what prompted this. Well, here's what fucking Taiga had to reply to this, and you'll get context why Creambo is attacking Taiga in just a second. Bro, you and your freak mommy can't keep my fucking name out of your mouth. It's you that likes to attack others for everything. I've never met you in my life, but you still talk shit behind a block. What have I done to either you to warrant this never-ending harassment? Oh, I think I'm gonna have to censor this later on from the stream, but whatever. You can't pretend to be above this shit when you jerk off Marina at the first opportunity. I don't know who you are, bro. I just know you're a hypocrite. It's blatantly obvious you're just running defense for Marina to distract all the kids she flashed because mommy asked you to. Here's a context for this. I didn't support HP. That's the Hogwarts Legacy fucking thing. Again, because it always comes back. But I never said anyone should be attacked for it. I have pals who play it. I'm not into lolly shows, so art, so I just have boundaries with it because I don't like it, even though he draws it for his friends. So yeah. So Crimbo had it out with the lolly show community as well, because he decided to call a bunch of people essentially bad for liking that stuff, saying that he has boundaries, and yet he draws his friends. I believe what you just saw there was like either a Shoda or a lolly friend of his, but he draws himself, or he's like fucking VTuber model fucking them. So take that as you will. For hypocritical for sure. And Taiga had this to say. Kimbo said his fetish mommy are terrified that people hold them to the same standards they hold everyone else to. And they should be. Yeah, and here's what actually prompted Taiga to, talk about this. And why Creambo actually did all of this. Shut the fuck up, LMAO. Taiga is revolting. Everyone should know this. This is a post with Crimbo responding to Marina sharing the pedophile accusations document once again about Taiga. So Crimbo had this to say because he's so kind to Taiga. When he can't defend Marina, he gets off defense and goes into full-on defense mode. And more people talking about Marina here. For a woman who once told me, think of how you'll make us all of us look. She sure does know how to make all of us look bad. And if you remember Lennox's part of the stream that I showed you, Kumo was mentioned here as well. And here's Creambo trying to poison the well about another VTuber. To give you an example of how Creambo actually is, that he is kind of similar to Marina with making shit up. Paint himself as the victim and somebody else as the villain in a situation. When kicked from everyone's communities for making them uncomfortable with your constant rant, you can always go to Bungo Taigas, who will be gladly weaponize your false narrative against those he doesn't like. Enjoy Ocha and others like him in your community. You deserve each other. He is talking about Ocha Doji, another VTuber that he essentially removed from his community because he was making him uncomfortable, and he is clarifying about this. Ocha Doji was kicked out of every single community Discord I know because he was just full of hate and malice and made everyone uncomfortable. I'm not in charge of anything. I'm Southside, and I was the last to know and ban him myself. And no one wanted to ban anyone, he forced it. To be honest, from reading through everything, I can kinda get why Ocha would be upset. Reads like he stepped out of line and was banned from many communities without anyone taking the time to talk to him. Not sure if it's the case, but if it's true, then and it's not top tier moderation. We talked to him in private a bunch of times to stop. No, you fucking didn't. Is Ocha Doji responding to that? Holy fuck. Crimbo. I wonder what kind of skeletons Crimbo has in his closet. Because no one runs defense for people like that unless they have something to gain from that. Is Crimbo secretly getting handies under the fucking table? What is fucking happening? I'd like to know more. If anyone knows more, do tell me. Because I've seen Crimbo do a lot of stupid shit over the years. And back to TVA. If you remember talking about humors, here's that post that Marina shared about humors and humors' behavior. Humor, or at NeetTuber, has renamed her account on Twitch to Humors. There have been a couple of threads, but I want to make it clear that she misrepresented herself, lied, and used me and others to get ahead. If you support her, I want nothing to do with you. Pics below are all her. And here's a user responding to Midori, one of the VTubers that was talking about Marina beforehand. Are you saying Marina wanted to fuck you and you declined, and that prompted him to make these tweets? And, you know, Midori couldn't reply to this directly, but there's a function on the TVA forum that allows you to leave reactions to certain posts. And Midori left this reaction, agreed to that post asking her a question. Okay, wow, was not expecting confirmation of this. And yeah, we went through this whole arc. How do you like it? I don't like it. I'm terrified. You can't hear it from my voice, but I'm very concerned about where this is gonna go. VTuber drama be fucking wild, man. It's much fucking worse that there apparently may be kids involved, especially in that fucking VTuber orgy part. I sure fucking hope they aren't, but I'm just not confident enough to say that no one like that was involved in that. It's just a lot of pain. Makes me feel like this. Makes me feel like this image. God damn it. Let me get my Kuri PNG back. There it is. Let me move myself. Alright. Here. So we went through most of this, but there's one last thing. And that is Marina's relationship to her former students. And there's some things that may be interpreted as concerning based on everything else we talked about. But I still think mentioning that part of it is important for some kind of context that may be useful later down the line, because who fucking knows? All of these things like kind of circle around on each other and later on become relevant. So I think it's worth at least knowing about them. So let me get that last arc in. But I did say that the fucking miscellaneous arc is gonna be something special, and it was. For all the wrong reasons, but, you know, it was. So yeah, Marina has had a apparently career as a teacher, as a science/math teacher. And here are all the instances where Marina has been talking about children. I just heard a student, I bet she'd be a hot tub streamer. Please don't be talking about me. Please don't be talking about me. Do you remember when you said poggers? Kek. Kek. I'm not even the same group. It's not even the same group of kids. Mind you, these are middle schoolers. She's talking about middle schoolers here. Why would you even mention about kids talking about fucking porn? Like, or you know, sexual content. Why would you make these tweets? And the rest is just kind of fucking weird because the people replying to this are kind of gleeful, as if no one is fucking talking about children. They remember when you said poggers. It's not even the same group of kids. They know. Zoran, stop. They are starting to put it together. Unless, narrator, they were. This VTuber hasn't hot tub streamed a day in her life. Wait a minute. Why would you talk about kids in this context? Like, why are all of these people replying to this as if this isn't concerning? Marina is mentioning middle school kids here. Still fucking children, if you don't know. And there's more. Kill me. First day back on campus teaching and I hear students talking about VTubers. You sure that just wasn't just me? LOL. I just hope you aren't a middle schooler, for confirmation that, you know, they're actually middle schoolers being talked about. I just had a student walk by my classroom and say, "Miss Marina, fuck her." And I brought the most deviously satisfying smile to my face. I live off children's anger. Okay, so it gets better. The kid was outside the classroom loudly talking about how they don't like me. They come in for a class and I look them dead in the eyes and say, "You know, you have a really loud voice. You look like the life had drained from them. I am living." Kind of setting a bad precedent for teachers. If you say, even jokingly, that you mess around in such a way with your students, especially as young as this, it's kind of fucked up. May not sound it on reading it first, but you know, with context that these are middle schoolers and she's gloating about them being angry at her for whatever fucking reason. So it is kind of telling, isn't it? Just some and you know, when she got backlash on this, she goes into full-on defense mode with her usual walls of text. Just some clarifications, is the other person is posting out of context screenshots about my jokes on teaching. I love teaching, working with kids. Do educators make jokes about things we put up with? Absolutely. But in a job that demands so much for so little in return, you don't stick around simply because you like to torment kids. I've been teaching for years because I wanted to make a difference in the lives of my students. I wanted to empower them and help them. You're a fucking math science teacher. Your job is to teach math, and I do understand, like, that educators, pedagogues, they have to bring up, you know, the new generations so they act well, but you're not that kind of teacher. These kids have parents. You don't need to be a parent for these children. Don't even attempt to. These tweets were posted as examples, so I explain for those who don't understand. I don't actually live off students' anger. It was a joke that I thought was fairly obvious, especially for anyone that actually knows me. I even said that in a thread. The student in question was someone who I had to tell 7 times to put their phone away. I let stop standing on their desk. 8th grader! On the previous day, I don't have any actual animosity towards them. They are a literal child. And why the fuck are you putting a child on blast for a joke here? I don't know. Kind of seems very unprofessional for a teacher to do that, especially on your VTuber, on your lewd VTuber fucking account. Seems not very thought out, but then again, Marina said that some VTubers aren't very smart, so this tracks. It tracks very well. Regarding the second tweet about calling them out, this is standard trained practice to address issues. Did the life actually drain from their face? No, again, it's a tweet on a VTuber account, trying my best to fit the humor of my branding. Don't involve real children in your lewd VTuber account as your branding. Even as a joke, even if you don't put them in a sexual context. None of that should be applicable. in any sort of sense. Leave fucking kids out of your fucking mouth, please. I didn't tweet about any positive interactions I had with students, including the very nice interaction I had with the same student later that day. It wasn't content like making a joke was. Don't make content out of 8th graders on your lewd VTuber account in any context. I don't post often about teaching, and I really rarely non-joke related tweets, but I do have fulfilling and worthwhile moments. Yeah, here's posting about fucking pronouns. Big teacher moment is asking students to share their name and pronouns and watching the trans kids' faces light up. Also, the fact there are this many trans kids comfortable to be open with their pronouns makes me happy and hopeful for future generations. 3 to 6 per class. I have to say one thing. When you're trans, you're either a boy or a girl. Trans girl, trans boy, doesn't matter. Why would you want children to experience having gender dysmorphia? It's awful. I don't get that. I mean, you're comfortable, hopeful for future generations. Shouldn't you rather hope that they don't have dysmorphia? Like, that they don't suffer a crippling fucking mind virus that makes them feel like they are in the wrong fucking body and makes them suffer? Shouldn't you think that? I don't get that. It kind of feels like to a lot of people being trans is a fucking fad. This is so fucking stupid. If you think I enjoy being bitchy or tormenting students and ruining their education, I think then you realize how much of a person's life goes on behind these tweets and all of the things you don't see. At the end of the day, this is entertainment account, not personal. Don't put students, your real fucking students, F graders, as entertainment on your VTuber account. Lewd VTuber account again. And this again. The anger part, in case you didn't see that one. I understand your concern, but there's no need. Sorry if my post was triggering for you. Based on your personal experiences, I've been teaching for years, and I know what I'm doing. How to interact with students. Joking about living off children's anger is just a joke. Yeah, but you're making it public to thousands of fucking people online. And if any of your kids see this, and I hope they don't fucking see this because you're a fucking lewd VTuber and they should stay the fuck away from your account. You're very confident about that they won't see it. And I hope they don't. There's too much talk about children and I'm just getting more and more disgusted. I'm glad we're at the end of this. And lastly, I'm so happy to be someone's students like this can ask these questions. I never had this. Mrs. Redacted, I have a question, but it's not related to class. Do you have any tips on advice for being trans? First of all, concerning tips on being trans, I don't think these kids realize what they're talking about here, and you shouldn't be happy about this. At best, if you're a normal person, ignore it. The better option, contact their fucking parents, because your child might, if they're not trans, your child might be getting into some really fucked up stuff. Your child might be groomed into thinking that they're trans, and it happens. And it's not transphobic to say that it doesn't happen, because there are actual groomers that will do this to fucking children. And this is not something to be happy about. Report this shit to their parents immediately. This is not something to be happy about. But yeah, ending on that fucking note. How did you like that? I didn't. I need a drink. All these streams make me want to drink. I haven't drank anything alcoholic like in bigger amounts since I was 19, and 19 was pretty fucking while ago. This shit makes me want to drink. But I just have my tea, and that's gonna have to suffice for now. Degenerate. I say that like in the 2D porn that I do like, but I never ever would bring or even like what I like in fiction. What these people, what people like Marina apparently do in real life involving real people. I hope this stream was eye-opening. If you do believe what a lot of the people here had to say. And I do believe that there's a lot of validity in what they had to say, because the behavior, especially corroborated by these three major people, which is Lennox here, kinda, Megu, and the green-haired Menhera VTuber who doesn't want to be named. They really paint a picture of a person that acts in this particular way, and it all meshes together well. It's all logically sound, so I have very few reasons not to believe them. I mean, what reasons would they have to lie about it? Would they be lying about it for clout on a small VTuber discussion forum? I doubt it, because otherwise, if they wanted clout, they would go on it on Twitter publicly and say a lot more. So, this makes me think that these things are true. And there's, other things that haven't been said in public yet. There's other things that are still in secret. But, there's Marina, and there's other people. There's Marina's orbiters that are very concerning. They go out and harass people, go out and make accusations, constantly trying to character assassinate others, and make others look as bad as possible. But at one point, all of that is gonna fucking break. Because people are starting to find out things about you. Accounts by other people, corroborated accounts. People have similar stories to share about all of these people. And then at one point, something has to go. And I do hope they go. Because, the kind of accountability they expect of others, they are never subject to that themselves. No one ever holds them accountable, because they have the talent of painting themselves as victims, making sure the other person that's accusing them ends up looking way worse than they are. Because why ever address issues that deal with you when you can deflect, disseminate blame on other people as well, and essentially, run to the bank with all of that. And mind you, there is bank to be made on that kind of outrage. Marina wanted to get the attention by breaking Twitch's rules, and all of that have snowballed, have avalanched into people talking about her and her associates. And I do believe this is just the tip of the iceberg on everything. And this is not gonna end with that. I fully expect to be doing another stream as more people start talking about it more. But, I did what I did. I got as much information as I could. And even I think that's still little. Because there's there's people dunking on Marina, which is sure funny, but I think getting information about it is quite a lot more important than just having haha tweets. So all these free VTubers and others that started to talk about it, and I'm very thankful that they have. Because there's way too many of these people out there, and they do whatever the fuck they want without any sort of repercussions. I wish they would just fucking leave. And especially leave the fucking kids alone, but you know, I'm way too hopeful. But yeah. Sure is a good fucking stream before Christmas, isn't it? It's already the 24th. It's Christmas Eve. Merry fucking Christmas. I have a video prepared. Hold up. That sums all of this up very well.
I'm here to make fun gameplay with you guys and be positive. Can you imagine being a toxic, negative person Christmas week? I can't.
Can you imagine, chat? Talking about a toxic, negative person on Christmas Eve? Can you imagine? Well, I can imagine. God damn it, DSP. I don't know what else to say. I'm just kind of left speechless after every single big stream I do. You have to, I have to reconcile with everything within myself and decide what steps to take next on this. For right now, I do have to censor that one image in the stream. I do want to leave this stream up, but I will make an archive of it just in case. I don't want another fucking community guideline thing. Like what took down the Nyaners stuff. I didn't censor shit enough in the Nyaners thing. So I have to do it for this stream. Well, it should be easy. Should be easy enough. But still, there's gonna be a mega archive of this stream. And you can watch it uncensored like that. I will leave it in the community tab of my channel. If I cannot, for some reason, censor this stream because YouTube is somehow gay like that, and just sometimes it just doesn't allow you to do that because the stream is too long. It didn't properly encode on YouTube itself, and there's some fuckery going on. So this stream isn't going anywhere. It isn't going poof. I'll make sure of that. You can hold me on that at least. So the moment this stream ends, I am downloading it and I'm archiving the shit out of it. I don't want any of what was spoken today to leave the internet. You guys should be. I mean, you guys can do whatever the fuck you want, but if I was sitting on the information I'm sitting on, I would be disseminating it far and fucking wide. But, you know, it's Christmas Eve, and I don't expect you to do it right now, or ever, for that matter. So, on those fucking words, I will fucking leave, and enjoy my fucking Christmas with my fucking family, and put this in the back of my mind, because I don't want to think about potential children being involved in any of this. This is not a great thought to have on holidays such as this. So you guys take care. You have very good holidays with whoever, your family, your loved ones. I'll be fucking off right now. Again, archiving the stream, putting the archive on the community tabs, and trying to censor this one because reasons. You guys take care. I'll see myself off and play you something nice, at least some good fucking music for a change. Got to end the stream on a high note. So Merry fucking Christmas. I'll be fucking off.